like I should be making love in the bedroom.
I'm gonna remember that for when we're talking about the sexy stories.
Here we are, sitting down by the candlelight. Just Jimmy and Tasso with the cock
while
rubbing
the Yule log burns in the fire.
Tasso's rubbing on Jimmy's cock. Look at Tasso go. Stroke it. Yeah.
And I slip my
lick that knob. Lick it around the hole. Pull the foreskin back and suck. Yeah, go. You mean?
Oh my God! What kind of show this is gonna be?
God damn it!
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Step into the box. Tell Jimmy and Lee your sins.
Is that a nice intro?
We're not recording, are we?
Yeah, Jimmy, come on. Get with it.
We are?
Go, Jimmy, go.
Come on, you saw the intro.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, everyone, to the 26th episode of the Confessions. Tonight, we have special confessions that we want to share with you. And of course, Lee, myself, and Tyler are going to touch on it.
We're going to touch it a whole lot.
We're going to touch it a whole lot. And hopefully everyone enjoys the show. And please, my friends, we haven't been on. We've been very busy, but we are back. And we're going to continue the show. But please, during the show, Tyler will have a link to please put your confessions in so we can continue the show and elaborate on your sins and your confessions or your stories, whatever you have. And we would like to share that with everyone else, of course, with complete confidence and confidentiality. So please, let's begin.
Here we are.
That was very nice. Beautiful. And I want people to know I'm taking this serious. I've been up since 4 o'clock. I've already done one show with Dave and John discussing after hours and the old team and the new team and what's been going on. So let's just say I'm on fire.
A hellish fire.
I'm warmed up. I've had my pre-show game and I'm ready to go. Had a little bit of pre-cum and now here I am.
And here we are. You know what that's called? That's gooning.
In your face.
I like to also begin the show.
Oh, here we go.
With because
the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer.
Because, we have to, because Lee gets a little, sometimes. So I want to have.
Is this for the people that wrote to you, Jimmy, saying that I was making fun of Jesus?
This is no. This is just that God was going to shed His light over our show, and that we're going to help people.
God ain't shedding nothing. He's not.
I don't think God's shedding any light on His godforsaken show.
All right, we'll forget that. All right, let's continue then. Let's go.
Look what we got here. You're saying God's going to shed light. I've got candles. You've got candles. Everyone's got candles. Candles are made from fire. Fire's from the burning pits of hell. So don't bring your Lord into this while we're dwelling in the depths of hell, in the garden sea of fire.
Wow.
Well, Lee.
Yeah, listen to that. That's your soul burning. Welcome, my people.
Well,
welcome to the show. This is how it should have went. Welcome to the show. We're glad you could join us here in the bowels of hell. We've just been waiting for your sins.
How did we go from the Vatican to hell?
We've been waiting for your sins where you think you're being good and you can write to us. But I'm here to tell you how bad you are, and I shall bring you down here with me to the bowels of hell for eternity. Jimmy can't help you. Tyler can't help you. Welcome to my world. My father and I have been here guiding you this whole time.
My God,
welcome.
I'm actually scared.
You should be. It's only just
I am. I'm a little worried. Well, listen, I have to shed a little light on this fire you got going on.
Yes, go ahead.
I mean, when Moses went up to the mountain, he saw a bush that was on fire, and but
I saw a burning bush too, but it was only a venereal disease.
Oh.
So anyway, to finish my story, Moses went to the mountain and he
Yeah.
saw this. God told him to take his shoes off. He was in a holy place,
Yeah,
and
so
he
they
went
said.
to this. He went to this spot, and this
Take
bush
your
was up.
fucking shoes. Do you really think God would say take your shoes off? Come on, I'd question that to begin with.
Well,
Why
that's
would
what
he
it
ask him
says.
to take his shoes off? Why would he say take your shoes off?
Well, I think it was like symbolic, maybe, because your shoes travel over all kinds of ground and there's all kinds of
And God,
stuff.
being accepting of everything, should be accepting of all the ground from all places around the world.
I think the removal of the shoes was a respect thing. So when the Lord said to Moses, "Remove your shoes, for this is a holy place,"
Yeah,
I understood
he had a
that.
fucking
Yeah.
foot fetish. He had a foot fetish.
So
Oh,
anyway,
Moses, I see
fire
your
was.
I see your
fire.
toes, and Moses looks up and goes, "Oh Jesus, I see your hard on." He had a foot fetish.
God has a foot fetish.
I don't know what to say to that. Anyway, so what happened is
Think about it.
even when the Egyptians, when Moses was leading the Jewish people across the desert and they got to the Red Sea,
For
and they were
40
all,
fucking years. For 40 fucking years, he led them around in circles.
well, I guess
How
God
many
had
people probably died following Moses around the desert, getting nowhere, given all this faith to this guy with a beard who hasn't got a fucking clue where he's going? He was like, Moses was like the Biden of the Egyptian era. He had no clue where to go and how to get off the stage. He wandered around for 40 fucking years. People followed him endlessly, going, if we don't follow him, we're going to hell. I'd be like, fuck, I'm in hell. I've been walking around this hot desert for 40 fucking years. Is someone going to say something to this asshole or what?
And Moses is like, I want to go across the aisle of water and work on both sides.
Yes.
Anyway, what I was about to say when Lucifer interfered was that when they got to the Red Sea, everybody panicked because they like Lee said, they looked at him like he was out of his mind, because now they were against the sea and the Egyptians were coming with the chariots.
And then he does this.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then the seas just parted.
I got to say something. I think the show that we're doing is going to actually help Lee a little bit too, because he knows the scriptures. He knows what happened.
It is helping me see how much more bullshit it is that I was brainwashed as a young child.
Anyway, so
he parted the seas, and there he saw the whale. Then he saved Noah. He pulled Noah out the whale's mouth, and they crossed together and had sushi on the other side.
It's beautiful.
Back to the fire thing. So what happened was when the Israeli people came to the Red Sea and they had their backs, up against the water.
The Israeli people. Who was on the other side, Hamas or the Palestinians?
I don't know what they were. I think they were called the Jewish people at that time, right? It wasn't the Israelites. That's what it's called.
The Israelites.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, when they got to the Red Sea,
is that like electrolytes?
The who?
It's what plants
the electrolytes.
Electrolytes. No, I don't think it has anything to do with electrolytes.
Okay. They're another group of people, are they, on the other side? Okay.
Oh my God. You get me all confused, Lee, when I'm trying to tell the story here.
Well,
you got me thinking about electrolytes. You got me thinking about Gatorade.
Powerade.
Yeah, right.
Gatorade. Talking about Gatorade at Mass.
I'm talking about Moses and God and the water, and I'm thinking about Gatorade now. You got give me a minute. Let me get to the punchline.
I'm sure after 40 years in the fucking desert, they wouldn't mind a bottle of fucking Gatorade.
So anyway, I'm surprised Tyler ain't, when I tell the stories, I'm surprised he's not adding a little music into it. Anyway, so
oh wow, we need some Moses music.
Put on the Gatorade commercial.
A little
music.
Anyway, so back to the fire issue. What happened was when Moses opened the sea, like Lee just did. Let me hit him. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So then, Lee raises, actually Moses did the staff, but Lee went like this. But I guess he did that. So the Red Sea opened.
Yeah.
And then God made this tornado of fire.
Wow.
Come down. And
it must have been very impressive.
Is there nothing this guy can't do?
So as the fire,
Oh, that was really funny.
as this fire tunnel, whipped around and came down,
Oh my
and
God.
the Egyptians couldn't pass, and then every time they tried to alter their the attack, this giant whirlwind of fire would move in front of them. They just couldn't get away from it, and the Israelites made their way through the open water, and they made it safely
That's
to the
the
other
first.
side.
I must say, this is the first I've heard of a tornado of fire in the crossing of the sea. I've never heard that interpretation.
Oh,
Where'd that
yeah,
come from?
Yeah. That's in the.
Is this the King James version or the fucking
Yeah,
New
which
Testament?
edition?
What edition's this?
It's important.
The King
Is
James.
this like the fucking Wile E. Coyote and Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah.
Go through the fucking.
Yeah.
It's the King James. But anyway, make a long story short. So yes, this.
I think you're making this shit up as you go along. Come on.
On the fly.
this whirlwind of fire, just came down and
Was it Earth?
blocked
Was it
the
Earth, Wind, and
Egyptians.
Fire? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well, that's probably where they got the name. Those.
Yeah.
It's a good,
Yeah.
good group, by
Come
the
to
way. I
see
used to listen to them.
entity in a place called you and me.
Actually, they were actually a very good group. I tell you, back in the day, people had music was had soul, man. Now it's all crap. And anyway, so anyway, my point was, as the Israelites made their way, through the open water, and as they were getting to the other side, the fire let up, and the Egyptians started to come through the open. Now this is in scripture.
On their chariots and their chariots, and they're chasing them.
Exactly, Lee. Coming through the water, and all of a sudden the Israelites turned around because they were almost on the other side, not quite, and all of a sudden they were like screaming, "Oh my God!" because they were coming, and actually all God was doing was allowing them to get in to the open water, and then when they finally got
them.
Right, he just let the walls just caved in.
Well, what sort of man of peace is that would kill thousands of Egyptians?
Oh, he's a vengeful God.
Well,
Why?
God
He's
has
meant to be
his,
forgiving and understanding. Just
Old
because
Testament God doesn't fuck
just
around.
because the Egyptians had a different belief than the Israelites and that, why would he have to kill so many? That's not very loving and caring and understanding.
Oh,
your God is demented. He drowned all those people for nothing.
Old Testament God is
I
serious.
got to be honest with you. You're not alone on that idea, because there are a lot of people that say, "How could a loving God, kill?" I mean, that whole Moses story was very interesting. I mean, Moses pleaded with the Pharaoh, which was basically like his dad, because he was raised up as an Egyptian. But to make a long story short, people say, how could God be like that? He did all kinds of plagues on Egypt, Moses, because he kept saying, "Let the people go," and he wouldn't, and the Pharaoh wouldn't do it. And finally, he don't forget now, in the beginning there was a prophecy that a baby was going to be born. So the Pharaoh had all the firstborn killed.
Killed.
Yeah. So what happened was,
and then they put him in a basket.
They did. They put it. Is that very goodly? So they put him in a, the mother put him in a basket. The real, biological mother.
And he went down the river, and you went down the river where he was found in amongst the reeds.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, Lee, you know. So anyway,
then after they found him in the reeds, they took him back to the house where the three bears were eating their porridge as Little Red Riding Hood come through the forest. It's all in the same book.
And then they picked the bed that was just right.
That's it. You've heard it, Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess it would. I guess that's a kind of a similar story, but it's not really. But anyway, so yeah, the Egyptian queen took the baby back, and I mean, most people probably know the story, but the idea is that the basis of what we're talking about is, how could God kill and all that? Because he in a Passover, which is, I think, now actually Passover, right? Is it
begins. You know what? It's funny. I know that because B&H Photo is a Jewish-run business, and they're closing for Passover on Monday. It's Monday.
Right.
Can I ask what
So this is very apropos. Very apropos.
Very apropos. There's a big word, apropos. Well, let me apropos you. Let me apropos you.
Apropos me this.
Yeah, apropos me this. Why do we have Passover Why do we have Ramadan where you fucking idiots stop eating for a long time, where you go on these stupid things thinking it's going to please your God? If I don't do this, I'll be going to hell. He has you so fucking wound around his finger and scared of him that, oh, if I don't do this fasting for Ramadan, or if I don't do this Passover, or if I eat meat on Good Friday, what a fucking asshole. All he does is threaten you with fucking death and the fires of fucking hell. I entice you to come down for a party. We all hang out. There's no rules. You can do fucking coke over there, speak to your mother in the corner there, jack off whoever you want there, like a big orgy, like Caligula. And it's nice and warm. Now you want to go hang out with this guy who does nothing but, if you don't follow my rules, you will go to hell. If you look at your neighbor, sexually, you will be going to hell. If you don't say the Lord's name in vain, you will go to hell. I am God Almighty. If you dare challenge me, you will go to hell. What a fucking fun-loving guy. Oh, I'm sorry, lady. Your baby was born stillbirth. That's just one of my tricks I like to play. Have you carried a baby for 9 months? Oh, I'm sorry. Your 2-year-old was shot by a drive-by. That's another little trick I like to do to myself.
Oh my God, you're gonna spit your wine. You're gonna spit take on that one? Wow, that's crazy.
I'm sorry that busload of Christians on the way home from the church meeting.
I'm spitting my wine. The shit that comes out of his mind, man, is it's incredible.
I'm sorry that family was killed in that house break-in. That's another one of my little games I like to play.
Well, it's the same one that was like, oh, Egyptians, you don't want me to kill all your children? Better paint a X on your door in lamb blood. Yeah. That's some hardcore metal shit.
Bring out your children so I can kill them for you.
Yeah, I will literally just the smoke of death will visit the village.
What
if you don't have
American,
a bloody
you go
X
around,
on your door,
why is it okay now? It's like double standard. I go to court, I place my hand on the Bible, and I got to defend myself for like murdering 6 kids, but fucking he killed how many, and fucking no one cares. God has how many stillbirths every day, and they go, oh, that must be the Lord's way. God needed another angel. Took my kid. I guess it's the best thing to do.
Another angel.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's a real fucking barrel of laughs.
Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Okay.
I'm glad you expressed yourself, Lee. I truly, you know, I understand that, and people should express themselves. Because you know, God made us to have.
What makes Australia great?
Right, and that's who we are.
That's why I don't want anyone. This is why I try to tell people: don't get upset when you see that kid murdered, stabbed, raped. When you see a child stillborn. When you see a car accident. And the family's all killed and they're decapitated and that's God's will. So don't get upset. Do not question God. God took them for a reason. So never let me hear people get upset. You should be happy, laughing, knowing that they're in a better fucking place sitting at the Lord's feet. Okay? Not wearing shoes, by the way. You're going to be sitting at the Lord's feet, taking their shoes off because you can't question the Lord. Remember, he moves in mysterious ways. So just let him keep moving and taking your souls and young children to be with him, okay? I don't want to shed a tear for anyone that dies, anyone that's murdered, because it is the Lord's way.
I have to kiss the crucifix. Anyway, listen. So I don't know why I feel like I'm in court with Satan himself and I'm trying to defend myself. Anyway, so the bottom line is, let's go back to Passover, okay? People say that God's cruel, and I've heard, Lee, you're not the first person I heard this.
He is. Just look at what's going on in the world. Is there a God? All those people in Africa dying of starvation, praying, just give us some water, give us some rain. He looks down and goes, fuck you, you can all dehydrate. But then he'll dump a ton of water somewhere else, cause tsunamis and floods where like thousands of people drown. Oh, he's got a real sense of humor, that guy.
Anyway, let me finish my story.
Yeah, you're going to be God's defendant. Defend him. There you go.
I am. I'm
Show us what you got there, F. Lee Bailey. Go for it.
I'm trying to shed a little light on the subject. I'm not an expert. I didn't go to seminary school. I'm a priest. We're all priests. But anyway,
Yeah.
make a long story short,
We are
you know,
all priests.
so you know, people say, how could God do that? Like, let's take the firstborn, you know, when like Tyler said,
Yeah,
when
you better have that lamb blood and an X on your door. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
so I think the lamb's blood also has some significance with
Oh, it
Christ,
does it?
with Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do. But
Yeah, well,
I mean, a lot of Jews
Because
still
you're
don't
all
believe in
fucking
Jesus
sheep.
Christ.
That's why, because you're all sheep.
it's like the inspiration for every
We are sheep.
A24 horror
We are.
movie.
There's a lot of
Where
symbolics.
are they? We are, because that's right, because they do say, welcome to the Lord's flock. You're in the flock of the Lord. Oh,
Just
yes.
a bunch of sheep.
Well,
Yeah.
they use that as an example of like the sheep,
Oh, why?
you know,
Because
like
they're all
the
shepherds.
shepherds. So
I
you
feel
know,
sheepish.
it's all symbolic. Like, you know, a flock of sheep, they do get lost, and they have to be herded, and they have
Is
a you
that
know
right?
a person who does that, and he keeps the flock, and you know, if one gets lost, he goes after it. That's like
Oh, yeah. It's like
Christ used
someone
that
on
in
a
his
power
sermon.
trip. Like someone on a power trip wanting to control everyone. Once he's got them under their control, he has them do shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I don't think it's
That off.
control. I think, you know, when listen, I'm not an expert, but you know, my take, I've done a lot of research and stuff like that. And,
God is the early version of Hitler. Controlling people, having them do his whim.
so
But
back to the
because
Passover, because this is
okay.
Passover, and I want to talk about Passover for a minute. So, you know, after all the plagues and the frogs and all the, you know, the hail and
the
whatever, all
locusts
the locusts, he did everything to the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh wouldn't give in. He was a stubborn bastard. You know, so
wasn't it raining blood?
no, he turned all the water to blood. So, a matter of
Yeah.
fact,
Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Tell me, why would you do that? Let's just kick that one for a minute. Let's just grab that one out of little fucking God's Felix of the trick bag. Let's
yeah,
just have a look at that and go,
yeah.
why would someone turn all the water to blood? Why would you do that? Now, if you did that at home, if your mum run a bath or she put water in the kettle and you went around and put all weird fucking colouring in it, your mum would say, Jimmy, why did you do that? Why did you mess up all the water putting that shit in it? So pretend you're God, and I'm asking you, God, why did you turn all the water to blood? Now, answer me as God, your reasoning behind that.
It was a show of power.
Ah, ego trip.
Yeah, it was a show of power.
To scare people into following me, I must threaten you
Well,
this way.
don't forget now. There was also, you know, the Pharaoh had a magician kind of guy in his
You
house.
get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So he used force and scared people into following and loving him. So a loving God should be like, let me show you love. Let me show you what I can do so you follow me because you love me. Now I'm going to send plagues and famines and turn your water to blood. Oh, please don't, Jesus. I'll follow you. I'll follow you, whatever you say. I promise to be a good servant. I'll be a servant forever. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
threats.
you
It's like
turn
an early
around.
day
I like what I
mafia.
see.
Like an early day mafia. Yeah, it's like you've got to follow me, or if you don't.
Well, speaking of all that, you know what? It kind of bleeds into we have a.
Hold on, Tyler.
Jimmy hasn't finished his Passover.
I haven't
You
finished.
still got that whole Passover thing.
I'm arguing with Satan over here. I'm trying to like finish my story. You know.
Well, can you?
Yeah, I'm trying.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Here,
you know,
got the full screen.
Hey, Mama.
listen.
Kitty.
I understand Lee's view, and there's probably a lot of people out there that have that same view, and I get it. I get it. You know, God's mean. You know, God's possessive. He's an ego trip. Yeah, you know, people. I've heard this from many people in the past, and I'm not saying I go around and I preach, but I had discussions with people over God. They ask me, and I elaborate what I believe. You know, because. People say that religion is an interpretation of, you know, of each individual person. It depends how you take it, you know, because the Bible is written in parables, and you know, even Jesus spoke in parables. So sometimes it's hard to decipher. And I get all that, you know, but the thing is, the more you study and the more you research it, you know, I think that it gets clearer and clearer to you because you're searching, and that's what God wants you to do. He wants you to search Him out. That's what He wants. So this world is no different than it was 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. It's no different. The only thing is that, you know, back then people deal directly with God, like Moses, Elijah, you know, all that. So the Passover, yes, was that God said, if whoever paints the lamb's blood on their door, that the angel of death would pass by, and all, if they didn't, all the firstborn died. I think even of the Israeli people too. I think everyone, if you didn't put that blood on the door, even if you were an Israelite, your firstborn was going to die. So finally, Pharaoh, he gave in, because after his son died, and we've heard people moaning and crying all over Egypt. It was a horrible night, and that was the night of Passover. Of course, we weren't there, but we read the story. You can put yourself kind of there and imagine what was going on. You probably heard wailing and crying all throughout Egypt, because people were dying everywhere, just dropping dead. So anyway, the Pharaoh gave up. And that's when he told Moses, go, take your people, just go. And that's how that whole thing starts. That's what Passover is. And that's why they're celebrating Passover now. They're respecting, and remembering and honoring, in the memory of that night. So that's my take. Yeah. Is God mean? Is God, did he wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah? Because God has, so people think that God don't have laws. He does have laws. He just didn't create us and we just run amok on the earth and just do whatever we want. He created us. Moses was the lawgiver, because when he went to that mountain, God wrote in stone what how we should, what kind of guidelines we should follow. And that's what that was. People don't know. It's a very interesting story. Very interesting story. But yes, so that's, God has laws, and you're supposed to go by the laws, and they're not hard laws either. They're very basic, thou shalt love thy neighbor, thou shalt not kill, he doesn't want you to lie and cheat, or sleep with the neighbor's wife, which which a lot of people do. But so yeah, I mean, listen, I've sinned all my life.
God come up with those laws, did he? God come up with those, like no one else could think of. Don't kill anyone, or don't do this. That we left that to God.
Because in those days, Lee, anything went, man. I mean, like two guys out in the wherever, and one guy, they had an argument. One guy take a stone, bash his skull in.
Even after the laws, and God and Jesus was resurrected and moved on, and he ascended again back up into the heavens. Jesus, from that point of time, people still killed each other. And you know what was worse? Since religion came along, people have more died. Thousands, millions have died in the name of religion. So what sort of little funny thing is God pulling here, where he's got people fighting over different gods? My God's better than your God. If you don't believe in me, we'll kill you, we'll blow you up, because our God says you can do this. Well, our God says you can do that. So it's like, really, people? Really, Gilgamesh? What's going on?
Listen, there's only... This is what the Jewish nation was about, okay? Abraham,
the Jewish nation was about selling diamonds and doing really good in the jewelry district. And making movies in Hollywood. That's what the Jewish...
Well, let's think about that for a minute. So yeah, every race has their trade, right? I mean, like, so the Jewish people, and it comes from the parents, that they made they make their child, they stick together in education and community and all that stuff there. I respect that. And they they make the kids go to school, be doctors and lawyers, because they're intelligent people. I'm not saying they're more intelligent than us, but they focus on different stuff, So the jewelry industry fell on. That's what they do. I mean, like the Italians, with masons and bricklayers. Irish people are excellent carpenters. There are some excellent Italian carpenters too, because I mean, if you look at Italy and all the construction,
Italian leather, baby.
Yeah, I mean, Italian people
but
were very innovative in construction and engineering and design. Today's age, even like I have friends that are Irish people, that are excellent carpenters. I have Italian friends that are excellent, good with their hands. So everybody has their trades. You know what I mean? So
and remember, Jesus' father was a carpenter.
He was. Very good, Lee. Very, very good. Yeah, I got to write this down. I got to remember.
That's why I told you. I said, one time, he was in line. He's like, it's like, God's there at the pearly gates and he's judging people. And he's, yes, sir, what have you done? He's like, oh, yes, you may go in. And as God's judging, he's just looking down the line. He's like, that person looks so familiar to me. That looks so familiar. And he's looking and he's judging people. Finally, the guy gets to the front of the line. He goes, name and occupation. We didn't give him a name. He just goes, occupation. He goes, carpenter. He goes, oh, he's getting all excited here. He's like, Jesus getting excited. He goes, did your son appear to you under miraculous circumstances? And the guy goes, well, as a matter of fact, he did. And Jesus is getting all excited again. He's like, oh, I think I know this person. And then he says, did your son have holes in his hands and feet? And the guy looks up at Jesus and goes, as a matter of fact, he did. Jesus looks down and goes, Father? The old guy looks up and goes, Pinocchio?
Oh my God. Anyway. Oh, he's not even drinking, Tyler.
Nah, it's like literally morning for him.
That's because I'm not into religion. And when you're not into religion, you have a good laugh at life. And you have a good laugh. You're not scared. You're not scared that God's going to strike you down if you do anything wrong. Or if you look at the neighbor or do whatever. It's like, if you go fondle yourself, God's not watching, blasting you to hell because you're told when you're little doing that's naughty too. You're not allowed to touch it and spank it. All the threats that the Lord gives out when you go to Sunday school. All the rules.
Well, speaking of looking at the neighbor, we've got a follow-up regarding that.
What? We do?
It involves looking. Well, remember that guy that had the hots for the girl that was staying with his wife and him? And he was lusting and he might have caught her in the shower.
That's right. He went outside and he caught her. Yes,
that's right. Yes. Well, now it involves a video camera.
Oh boy.
He's taking things a little further, guys.
Oh man.
There's something going on here that we don't know about. There's like
so he's continuing. Is this?
Father Jimmy, I'm concerned. His soul is in mortal danger, and his legal. He might morally and legally be in danger.
So yeah, I mean he's taking it to a whole new level now. This guy.
Are you ready? So should we hop into the booth?
Yes, we shall.
Let's hop into the booth. Let's see what's happening here.
Let's go. All right.
Let's not judge. Let's be judged.
All right, we've entered.
I think I like what Lee said. I think the fire looks better on the bottom.
Well, don't worry, Jimmy. That's going to come back in a big way.
All right. Okay. Good.
We have that for a very specific reason. We have more of a concern than a confession coming up next.
Oh my God.
Where is our good old? There it is. Yes.
I tell you, this show has a huge effect on Lee. It really does, man. It's bringing another side out of him. He's got many facets, Lee. He's like a diamond.
As they say, I am the truth, the way, and the light. Follow me.
I'll go with that.
I will make you fishers of men.
Wow, Lee, that's excellent.
Okay, so. Tyler, thanks for reading my email on the last show. Things have progressed since I last wrote.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
You guys also got me.
Oh, shit. No, Lee got him.
Although we only have one bathroom in the house, I confess I knew there was a 50-50 chance it was her or my wife showering, and I was hoping it was her. And I had it planned. If she saw me looking through, I would have made the excuse that I assumed it was my wife. Haha. Anyway, which is okay because you love peeking on your wife in the shower.
Are you touching on the last one he did, or was this a continuation of the last one he did?
This is a follow-up from the guy that was spying on. So he had this very attractive African American woman join the fold.
Oh, I remember that. Right.
Yes. He was like specifically.
He liked the booty.
He liked her booty a lot.
I actually liked the story myself.
I know. I'm sure a lot of viewers did.
Yeah. I was visualizing it.
Jimmy went and pleasured himself after the show while the Lord watched.
Admiring the beauty of a black woman's one thing, but this guy's taking it a little further. Anyways, we're going to continue the story. So after I watched her showering and jerked it, I kept thinking about her nice, big, juicy chocolate ass, shiny from the water. Even Jimmy was getting all hot and heavy, as you said.
I was actually.
You're a father.
Check Jimmy's Pornhub search. It's got black ladies in showers. Right
Man of the clock here. He's admitting, confessing to the sin.
I am.
Very simple. Okay, just the thought of it. Can you imagine me actually seeing it, Jimmy? Wow. I just can't get it/her out of my mind.
I would probably be standing next to him.
Jimmy wants you to send him photos. Send him the video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one, Lee.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Getting out of my system by looking up. There you go. Big back booty on. That's maybe he
can send a little short clip. You know, that would be fantastic.
That would be highly illegal and truly reprehensible by the law. Anyways, I tried getting out of my system by looking up Big Back Booty on Pornhub and all those other ones. It didn't work. I've literally been dreaming about it at night. I like how it's no longer her; it's just it every time.
Yeah, just the booty. It's just the booty.
I understand that because his story did that to me too.
The thought of it had me sweating during church. I then decided.
Look at this. What you have so much in common, Jimmy. Both go to church. Both are men at a cloth.
You both sweat in the church.
Both filthy little fuckers perving on people through the windows, and you call yourself a man of God.
Yeah, he's like, hey, send me the video. Can you send me a little clip?
Jimmy and this guy are hanging on by their fingertips going to church. Oh, Jesus, I know I'm bad, but forgive me again. I just slip up. I know you're open to forgiveness. I just keep sinning every week, but every Sunday I'll come wipe the slate clean and start again on Monday.
Well, there is some truth to that. I have to confess, I am a sinner, and I do try to, reboot myself again. Yes, I do.
Reboot. That's a good way to put it.
I'm a man. You know.
Let's continue.
I go out raping.
Oh, there's more?
There's more.
When I'm finished raping, I wash my dick in holy water, so it's okay.
Wow.
I then decided I need to see it again and also record this time, so I have access to it at all times.
Wait, Tyler, hold on a second. I thought this was with this gentleman was a one-time event.
No, he's going back.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't.
And he videoed it for you, Jimmy. He videoed it for you.
He decided he needed to see it again and also record this time to have access to it all the time. I worked out. I worked out. She usually starts showering between 2 to 2 weekends as well. 15 minutes. He really figured out her shower schedule, which is also who has a shower schedule. I can't watch her on weekends though because my wife is home. Might catch me. So next time I finished early from work. I got home at 2:05. He got home at exactly 2:05 p.m. And when he went around in the yard, he couldn't hear the shower. So he waited for a bit, the side of the house, like a fucking creep at his own house.
Yeah.
At about 2:15, I heard the shower on. Oh my God, he's just waiting out there. Really? I waited a few minutes and then put my phone on record. Then poked my phone camera around the corner of the missing curtain in her bathroom window. She had her back to the window again, so it was safe to watch and record. Not really. Wow. I was watching her and recording her at the same time. I also started, of course, doing his business with the soldier downstairs, and then just busted all over his backyard. God, without getting caught.
The roses.
I have now, since my last email, recorded 3 times in the last 2 weeks. But I'm not going to record or watch her again. Oh, perfect. Way to go. Good job. I'm quitting while ahead before I get caught. I also have enough jerk material now. It's safely on the phone secure folder, which requires a password to access. I know
Can he send a compilation of this to us?
Jesus. No, he should not. If he does, I'll report him. I know I shouldn't have recorded her, but I couldn't help it. I felt like it. Let me finish. I felt like I needed to get a nice big round chocolate ass on camera to keep for memories.
Wow.
Hang on. Gotta go back. That was the first one.
Well, don't listen to Tyler. Jimmy and I welcome a clip.
She actually just found a place to move and we'll be moving out in 2 weeks' time. I think I will try your suggestion to get her and my wife drunk, see if I can get a threesome going. But my wife can be a little jealous sometimes when women talk to me. She doesn't get pissed, though. She just gets pissed at the women and talks crap about them after.
He doesn't want her to talk to her. He just wants to fuck her. He doesn't want to talk to her, so she should be okay.
Well, I doubt she'll be okay with me banging her friend as well, but I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, I might just propose the idea to my wife's friend if she wants a goodbye bang before she moves out. Like I said in my last email, she's super friendly and cool, so it's hard to say if she's just being nice or if she's into me too. Wow. We'll see. Do you guys think that I did anything wrong by recording her, or is it just some innocent personal jerk material on my phone?
That's just you looking after your household. You were home outside in the backyard attending to your roses, pruning them. You heard a noise inside.
Pruning them!
You thought it could have been a burglar, so you put your camera on record in case there was someone breaking into your house. So, and what he did is nothing wrong, and he should. What he should do is get home, when she's in the shower, walk past naked, or better yet, ask her, would she mind just doing a little bit of work in the backyard near that window? And he should go in the shower.
Right, yeah, that's right. Right here. Just if you can just trim right here.
See if she looks up while he's in the shower, and then sort of, they might make that connection. Not just do a Donald Trump and grab her on the pussy.
Oh, boy.
Look how well that worked out for him.
Didn't hurt.
For another one.
Yeah, he's
a great example.
Don't buy into all those court cases. Don't buy into all those court cases and all. It's not happening. It's not happening. This Stormy Daniels and Bragg and all this sort of shit.
It's all very silly, isn't it? Okay, Jimmy, what's your verdict? What do you think about this guy's
Jimmy wants to see the video too.
So I'm trying to figure out Lee's conclusion on this. I wasn't quite sure how it ended.
I said there's nothing wrong with it. I said it's fine, and he should try and bang him before he moves out. He's got the video, and she's sort of friendly. She might feel the same. What's she going to say? No, and then your wife leaves and she leaves. You got the house to yourself. You can sit there all day with the video jacking off in peace.
I'm just imagining, like, hey, before you go, what do you think? You like bang?
Where's the bad side to this? Where's the bad side to this? I don't see anything.
Oh, Jimmy, what do we think, Jimmy?
Where's the negative?
Damn it.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Ever since we started the show, Lee's been really extending out into the imaginary world and the world of demons.
Don't you call my videos imaginary?
Angel and demons. Listen, I'm not saying anything badly. I'm just saying, like, ever since we started the show, you've been expanding your horizons on.
Because I've seen the light, Jimmy. I've seen the light.
You get visions.
You open up your eyes. He saw the sign.
Yeah, he gets the visions. He does. He really gets visions.
You people walk around reading the Bible, and when you read the Bible, you got blinkers on. But I read the Bible, but I question the Bible, and when I question the Bible, it's like the blinkers come off, and I see everything, Jimmy. It's like when you thought the world was round, but then you started questioning it, and you found out it was flat. Yes. Don't you feel much better for that, for broadening your horizon? So you need to come out and show yourself. When someone says there's two people, Adam and Eve, and there was a talking snake, you should go, okay, but now let me question that. And then they made Eve from Adam's rib, and you're thinking, well, if they took Adam's ribs out, he could bend over and suck himself off. He doesn't need Eve.
Like that one, Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like, I understand you're following the Bible, Judy, but question it a bit like you did. You'd be more open.
I have to say,
you're following God blindlessly. You need to get a bit of light on it.
I have to say, I'm trying to follow Lee, and he's all over. He went from Adam and Eve to the flat Earth to the blinders. I mean, he has an exceptional mind, Lee. He really does. I think he did need to see blinders. I'm not going to deny that. His mind is.
I'm like fucking what's his name in the chair, but just not retarded.
Oh,
neither is he. You're talking about
Stephen Hawking.
Steve Hawking? He's not retarded. Oh my God.
Hold on. Let me type on the computer.
Is it like Parkinson's?
Well, he is. So is Lee trying?
Hold on, I'm writing my message to you, Jimmy. I'm writing my message on the computer.
I gotta get another glass of wine, man.
It's good. Hey, where'd Jimmy go?
I had to go get another glass of wine, man.
Put the camera back on me then. If Jimmy's gone.
This shit is
Watch me write the letter to Jimmy.
No.
Yes.
No.
Put the camera on.
I won't do it.
That's okay. I'll just stay here waiting for the camera.
I gotta get.
I am very patient.
This is a heavy episode. I gotta drink a little more.
Jesus Christ! You can't. Like, he will win. You can't.
I know he's very difficult. He's very difficult. He really
doesn't know that
but
his like internet sucks dick. So like he hasn't had like his video cuts out every 5 seconds.
No, when he comes on the show, he gets into this zone and he just takes off like a rocket, into another hemisphere.
He's an animal. He's out of control. He's a hell dog. He's a hellhound.
He is, but I have to commend him though. His imagination.
What's commendable about any of this?
Well, what's commendable about Lee is his broad imagination, and it comes to him so quickly. He doesn't even have to even think about it. It just comes out.
It's garbage. Because it's smut.
Anyway, so as he's writing his memo, I want to touch on this guy.
Yeah, what do you think, Jimmy? What's your verdict?
With the African American woman in the shower.
Very PC of you.
Very.
Actually, I think black woman's probably better, but you know what? It's not our place.
African American, black. I mean, it's the same thing. I love all people. I love all people.
This whole thing's awkward either way. So, what do you think?
What was that?
The whole thing's awkward. What do you think?
Awkward?
What do you think?
I'm trying to tell you what I think. You keep interrupting us. So let's go back to this black woman, okay, in the shower. Okay.
Thank you. This queen,
woman of color, whatever you want,
beautiful queen.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mocky chocolate latte.
Silky black skin, being covered with water in the shower as it.
Oh my God, Jimmy!
As it rolls down.
What are you doing, us?
I've never seen such a beautiful Negro.
Comes down her back.
Jesus Christ.
Her shiny black skin over the rear end just comes over like a little bit of a waterfall between the crack, and he watches the little drips come down between her cheeks down onto the floor.
Is it because she's black you're accusing her of crack?
This is what the guy did to me. He totally, I like the music. So anyway, do I see anything wrong with what he did? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I have no idea. I forgot now.
Yeah. Do you think it was wrong to record her without her knowledge? Is it wrong to record a woman without her knowledge in a shower?
Yes.
Oh. How can you say yes when you're fantasizing about it?
Well, he already did it. And he's telling the story, so I'm thinking about it.
Well, if he told you about it and excited you and brought you joy, how can that be wrong if it brought you so much joy?
Gee, I don't know. I think serial killers get brought a lot of joy.
You know why? Because you're God-fearing. God has you fearing him. God's using that manipulation to make you fear everything. So you can't enjoy life when you fear God over every little fucking thing you do.
Well, so I don't think
film women so you can jerk off to them, okay?
I don't think the fear is the thing here involved in the story.
No,
I think what this man is portraying to us in his confession is a story, a sexual story, which is
that excited you and turned you on.
And he's explaining how he videotaped this young woman in the shower and watched the
water. That excited you and turned you on.
I'm not gonna lie, it did a little bit. Yes, it did. Because the way he explained the way the water was going to come down and right over her buttocks.
A practical woman in the shower is an arousing thing. We can agree.
Yeah, it is. It is arousing. I don't even know what the girl looks like, but the whole.
We're filling the blanks in.
The way he explained the whole story.
He told you, she's like, got the big booty and the water running down. She's got a big flat nose and big lips, and
Yeah, it's very.
She likes watermelon.
Very intriguing story. that's something you would find like in the back of a Playboy magazine in one of the stories in the columns there. You know, where like years ago there wasn't, you know, they had Playboy with those stories in them.
Oh, did
But
you read Playboy? Did you?
yes, I did.
And
Absolutely.
did you know God was watching when you're looking at Playboy, Jimmy?
At that time, I really didn't think, I wasn't really thinking
He's
about
always
that at that
watching like
time.
Santa Claus.
As I got older, things started to change for
Like,
me.
so
But
like the round earth and the flat earth, at what
yeah,
point did you just give up on life and give your life to God to guide you? What point did you just go, you know what, Lord, guide me, show me the way, I've been a bad boy? At what point did you just hand over everything to God? We'll wait.
I don't think, I think those are the wrong words. It's not like a, I mean, you know, people.
Okay, at what point did you just become pussified and give up?
I think what happened to me, Lee, was I became, I wouldn't say I gave up life or surrendered like people say. What happened to me was, I had more of an awakening, that I realized that God exists and Jesus was here, and as I researched more
And
and
when did
more,
this happen? At
and
what point? At what point? Where were you in your life where this went boom? The
I
flash
was in.
went.
I'd be honest with you. Be totally
Yeah,
brutally
yeah.
raw honest. Was when my mother died before my eyes in the bed, and she was in the hospital. I watched her take her last breath, and my whole world just crumbled and crashed. And I went into a deep depression after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried for 4 years, and I lost a relationship over it because I was I went into actually, I was worried about myself at one
Well, the
point.
mother, yes, because when you go into
Yeah.
depression over your mother dying, yes, but after your mother had passed and you had given
Right.
your life to
So then,
God,
what happened was,
look how much better your life has been.
uh,
Mm.
it's,
Mm.
it's not really. What all I can say is that, you know,
If you
listen,
had to come to
I
my side and spoke to my father, you'd
yeah,
probably be a millionaire by now, living in the laps of luxury.
you're probably right. You're probably right. But that doesn't really mean anything to me. So the
Oh, so you
important things
like
in
being
life.
miserable. You like being miserable
I
driving the
think
truck
I think I do. Yeah,
with no brakes,
I have
almost dying.
I have a certain. There's a movie with Robert De Niro. I really
It's like
related to this
you like
movie.
self-punishment, do you? Like
Yes.
sort of.
So I'm gonna. You might have seen this, Lee, because you're very good with movies.
I feel like Jimmy, you feel like you're not worthy of happiness or finding true love now or being happy. It's almost like you feel like you need to be angry and miserable because, you know, with your mother passing, you got angry and it made you this sort of, even though you believe in God, you still question why. She was a beautiful woman and I see all these assholes out here living, but you took her. So you have this sort of thing where you sort of feel like you don't
Yeah.
deserve all this since your mother passed away.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
almost
Yes.
got to be angry and stay in this state because
Yes. I am.
being happy and going on almost makes you feel guilty because
It
your mother
does.
didn't go on. Hmm.
You're right. Absolutely, 100%. I felt that happiness was not for me, and being that
Mm-hmm.
my mother wasn't here anymore,
No,
I
your
had
mother was
no.
like the light of the world. Your mother was everything. She was
She
it.
was. She was. So when she left, I felt that happiness wasn't for me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was not here. I had no happiness, and I didn't even want to be happy. And I was in that state of mind for many years, many
You probably
years.
thought about ending
Maybe
your
even
own
till
life.
today.
You
Actually,
probably
maybe
even
even.
thought about ending your own life, didn't you, Jimmy?
Oh, you were with me a couple of times when I almost
Yeah.
drove my
And
Jeep into the.
the only thing that stopped you was the thought of your mother would not be happy with you doing that.
Absolutely, absolutely. She wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
want that for me.
Oh,
Yes, yes. But
shit, this got
I
extremely
actually
deep.
did. I did. I actually contemplated that in the beginning when I lost my mother. That why should I live? I should have died in that room with her. When she died, I should have died with her. I did
But
think
the
that.
sad thing
I
is, a
did.
part of you did, and that's where this being happy.
Yes, yes. You're right, Lee. You're
It's like
absolutely right.
someone ripped your heart out there.
Yeah, you're right, 100%. And it never came back. That piece is
And
missing. It's never gonna.
that's why I
Yeah,
said we used to joke about it, but that's why I said when people make fun of Jimmy not leaving where he lives now, because Jimmy's
yeah.
lived there his whole life. He's got memories of his mother there. His
Yeah.
mother is buried there. He can go talk to his mother, which is soothing for Jimmy. If
It
Jimmy
is.
moves away, even though his mother's still with him in spirit, he doesn't have that closeness connection of going to the grave and feeling like he's with her.
Very true, Lee. Very true. You
Mm-hmm.
know me very well. Yes, that's that is the truth. I even have like, even in my house, I have many pieces of furniture that belong to my mother. I still have some of her coats. They're in my closet, hanging there.
Yep.
I have things right here in this office that belong to her, and yeah, I feel connected to her. It's very strange, but it is.
And it is because
It,
I know people like that. If you moved away, it's almost like, even though she has left and she's with you spiritually, it's almost like if you moved to Florida and left all that, even though you can take the belongings with you, but it's almost like
yeah.
she's there and you're actually leaving her, like you're leaving.
Yes.
You're leaving her behind.
It's crazy because I go to the cemetery all the time, and you know that.
Yeah.
I'm always down. I go down in the middle of the night, in
Mm-hmm.
the morning. And I just in my travels, I'll go get pizza down in the village, Little
I go to my
Vincent's.
grandparents' cemetery and talk to them, and it's true because if you moved away, I remember when I was in America and they passed. Like I said, if you go to the cemetery, like I said, they're buried there, but even though you can talk to them anywhere, being there at their cemetery just sort of feels like you're closer. If you move away, it's almost like you're leaving them.
Well, Lee,
Even though
actually.
it's a weird thing in your head, they're really not there, but you feel like you are physically leaving them because you can't go visit them.
So, Lee, you telling me this is you feel the same way because you've taken me to the cemetery. I don't know if you
Yes.
remember.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you shared the burial grounds of your family with me, and I've done the same with you. So we do think similar in this point of view here that we're talking about. Yes, it's very hard, very hard. I mean, here I am. I'm going on 65 now, and my mother will be gone this October, 10 years, and I still have a hole in my chest over it. And it's and I do pray on it. I always ask for strength and to let me kind of put it behind me a little bit, but it's very difficult. It really is. And like you said, the happiness thing. I always felt like I don't deserve happiness, and
It's almost like it's almost like a feeling of guilt being happy when they're not there.
it's like self punishment.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Like it's like I don't want to be happy. Kind of.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it's almost like you do, but it's almost like you do.
I
But if you
do, but I
find
don't.
yourself
Yeah.
being happy, it's like, do you find that if you find yourself being happy and having too much fun,
Yeah.
it's almost like you do something to sabotage it?
Yeah. Because I feel like I shouldn't because
Yeah,
my mother's
like you
not
don't
here
deserve
anymore.
it, like you don't deserve it or something.
Listen, when my mother was alive, anytime I did something big or whatever, I mean, I always talk to my mother, but like when I went to Japan, the first thing I did when I got to Japan was I called my mother. First thing, I went to a phone booth and I called my mom. I says, "Ma, you can't believe. Can you believe I'm in Japan?" I shared everything with her. Everything I did in my life, anything big or great or small, I always shared with my mother. And it brought me joy to tell her these things. And she got joy out of it too. She said, "My son's in Japan." I actually found letters after she passed away that she wrote. On an email that my son is in Japan and he's having such a great time and he told me all the wonderful stories and all. It's it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. It's something that, and I know people say you got to move on. You got to put it behind you. Your mother's with you in spirit. Don't worry. Stop. You can't live like this. But for some reason, I can't break that spell. The spell of the hole in my heart, and the spell of I can't get too happy. I don't deserve it. And like I was also talking to you about that movie with Robert De Niro. It was about Spain, and he used to go away and get slaves or whatever. This is the movie, of course, and bring them home. But he was gone for months at a time, and his brother actually ended up being with his wife. And when he returned from Spain in the ship, getting slaves and stuff like that, whatever he was doing, he killed his brother. And then he had such a remorse over killing his brother, such a guilt, that he was dragging his armor through the woods, in the mountains. For days on end. I forget the name of the movie, but and then the monks were following him, the priests, and they were trying to talk him into stopping dragging his armor around. He had like a big net bag, and he was crying.
Well, Jimmy got called.
Oh dear! In the midst of
It wasn't me calling.
He's going to come back pissed from super deep and emotional to angry, potentially.
Here he comes.
Any moment.
He probably had to log out because it cuts his headphones off. He's logged out.
Yep, he's out, and then I'll come back in a sec.
Look at that. I became Jimmy's counselor.
Yeah, man. Kind of invited it there. It's rough. Losing your mom.
I think your mother too, because I think when you grow up with your mum, it's like that nurturing thing. And don't we all know? We all think, we know they're going to pass away, but for some reason, you think your parents are going to be there forever.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people. You got to get out there and call them if they're still alive and tell them you love them and send them messages, because we all think they're going to be there forever, but come that day, they're not.
Should do it more.
I'm back.
Hey,
sorry.
I was saying I was with parents and mothers. It's that nurturing feeling we lose in that. And we always, for some reason, we know people are going to die, but for some reason you think your parents are always going to be there. They're never going to die. It's like,
yes, it's true.
And then when it does, you're like,
I actually, so to touch back on my story, Lee, I don't want to bring everybody's head down, but I'm just explaining, what happened.
Because a lot of people feel this way, Jimmy. A lot of people go through
it's not. I'm not trying to bring people down and be a bummer, but I went through a lot, 4 years of, and I still, like I said, it's going on 10. I'm still not over it, but I'm better. But the first 4 years, I actually was worried about myself at one point. And especially like with my girlfriend, I was with her for 18 years. She left me because I was just a wreck. I was on the couch. I wouldn't go back in the bedroom with her, and I didn't realize I was on the couch for years. I didn't realize it. It just happened. I was just on the couch, and then she, we, and I'm not angry at her. We didn't have. I was disconnected. And
that's like I said, their parents or your mother or whoever you got the closeness with, your dad or your mother, it's like they're a part of you. You miss their smell, their touch, their voice. So when they're gone, it's like people say, it's like a part of you, whether it be if someone cut your arm and leg off, it's going to be like a big part's gone. And sometimes it's hard to function when you're missing that, what you're used to, like the foundation or the rock.
Well, definitely the rock. I mean, my mother was my rock. I mean, my father died, make a long story short. My birthday's November 27th, and my father passed away in 1972 on November 26th. And I spent my 13th birthday in the funeral parlor. It was devastating to me. I was 13 years old. It was my birthday. Here I am looking at my father in the casket. It was horrible. So, and then after all that was over, and I got over that. Then me and my mom became even tighter because now she was my dad and my mom. She had to play both roles, and I mean, I didn't realize that at the time because I was young, but as I got older and later on in life, I realized that my mother had to play two parts like that. It was and then run a household, and I never missed a beat. My mother worked her ass off. We still had the house. We had food on the table. She was. I didn't realize how strong my mother was until I got older, and I look back and I says, wow, my mother lost her husband, and continued, kept the house together, continued to work, kept herself together, and raised two boys. My brother was 4 years younger than me at that time, and I was like, wow.
And let's just say, raising Jimmy and his brother wouldn't have been a walk in the park.
No, it wasn't. I was very unruly. I was very. It was bad. I was a little crazy. I would just say I was like a wild child. I'm not saying I was a bad kid, but I had a lot of energy, man. I was just out of control, but so that's what happened. And then later on, that's when she got sick, and I was in the hospital. I didn't even work anymore. I just stayed with her night and day, and I told the story in after hours when my mother finally passed away in the hospital that evening. I stayed with her in the hospital room for like 2-3 hours. The nurses and the doctors wouldn't even bother me. They closed the curtain and they left me in there with my mother. And I finally came out, and it was late at night because she passed away at 12 something a.m. And it was like 2-3 hours later. I came out, and all the nurses came over to me. It was like maybe it was a night shift. It was like maybe 4 or 5 nurses, and it was in CCU, cardiac critical care unit, whatever it was, and they all started hugging me, all of them. They just came around me. They were all hugging me, you know, and I was crying, and they were hugging me. It was amazing.
It's kind of
The, the,
beautiful.
the, yeah, the human spirit, you know what I mean? And they were all hugging me, and they looked at me and they said, Jimmy, and they knew me because I was there for 3 months. You know what I mean? I was on top of the doctors, the medication, them cleaning my mother. I mean, I was like running everything over there with my mom. I wouldn't leave, and they were nice enough to leave me there. I slept there overnight, and nobody bothered me, But hugging they were all hugging me, and they said, Jimmy, they said, a couple of the nurses said, I'm here 14 years. They said, I've never seen a son
Oh,
stay with their mom the way you did. They
you
said
made me cry, Jimmy.
that's what they told me. And they said, we just have to tell you this. That's why they were all hugging me. And they said, we just never seen the love of a son to their mother.
Sadly, that's true because I used to do when I worked fire equipment, I used to go to this old people's home and I'd go in there and like you'd see these old people, I'd talk to them. This one woman thought I was her son. She had like Alzheimer's. Every time I went in there, she'd be like, "Oh, Ben, how are you? And how's the family?" I'm like, "Good." I just talk to her like I'm a son and that. But even then, the nurses would tell me, "Oh, it's great you talk to these people because they'd be like, her son has never come in for the last 4 years." Right. It's like sometimes people put their parents in these homes, people that have raised them and taken care of them. They put them in these homes and never go and look at them. They just wait. It's like they're waiting for them to die so they can get whatever inheritance.
Yeah.
Fucking I've seen so many people, unbelievable, when their parents die, the very next day, it's like what's mine? What's yours? It's like they go into this fucking, it's like, my God, your mother or dad just passed and you're fighting over fucking money and shit. It's like crazy. And then they, like I said, they hadn't even seen them. They didn't even go and, when my grandparents, my mother's parents got old and sick, they sold their house and my mum moved them into her place. And she took care of him until the point where my grandmother, she needed round the clock help. So there was a nursing home, like on my mum's street. I was on the street over. So even at the nursing home, if I was on my mother's veranda, I could see my grandmother sitting out the back of the nursing home. So it was just around the corner. So you could walk there every day. And she passed away at the nursing home there with my grandfather there. But my grandfather, he passed away.
It sounds ideal.
Yeah, but my mum took care of her parents up until the end, and that made the house for them, made the doors for her bigger and the shower for like a lady that needed help. So yeah, but now these days it's almost like kids just throw their parents away like, nah.
Well, that's the thing, Lee. When I was in in CCU there with my mother, it's a very small area. I think there was probably like 1, 2, 3, like maybe like 6, 7 patients. It was a circle, and they each had their own room, and they were in bad shape. These people, they really were. They were on breathing apparatuses. It was horrible. But I seen like a gentleman one time come in there, because I was at the desk talking to the nurse, and he came in and he was sitting with his dad, and his dad was all hooked up with trach and all this stuff, and he was there for maybe like 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, and then I saw him leave, and I saw that a lot in that CCU. Like people didn't, I was, I'm not tooting my own horn. It's just the love that I had for my mother, So I went there and I stayed there from 11, 12 o'clock till 6 in the morning, every single night. I made sure that so there's this thing. My mother had to get this thing called a presser. It's they put it in your neck and it goes into your to your system, and it contracts the arteries to raise your blood pressure. It's called a presser, right? But you're only supposed to stay on it a couple of days. My mother was on it for quite a little time, and because she was at that point she was on her way out, so there was a male nurse on duty that night, and my mother, I was kind of sleeping in the chair. I always used to sleep in the chair because my neck was killing me, because I used to fall, like this, So all of a sudden my mother was like, Jimmy, and I got up. I said, "What's up, Mom? What's the matter?" She said, "Something's wrong. Something's going. Something's." And I looked at her bag, her IV bag. The presser was running out. and her blood pressure was dropping, and she felt it right away. So I went over to the male nurse and said, "Joe, you got to get another bag. My mother's pressure's running out." He goes, hold on. He went over by the desk and he came in. He goes, I don't have one up. I said, "You don't have a bag?" I said, I said, "You better get a bag. I don't care where you get it." I said, "You better get it." I said, "My mother's pressure's running out and she needs another bag right now." I said, he goes, don't worry. And he ran somewhere. I don't know when they brought another bag from downstairs or whatever. They put it on her. I was a wreck, Lee. I was a wreck, man. The whole thing, you know. They had to drain her
And
lungs.
that's good of you,
You know.
because imagine being a parent or whatever, or any person in hospital. Because I know when I've gone to hospital, it's a fucking shitty place, especially if you're really
It is.
sick and miserable.
Yeah.
Just seeing a family member or friend come in makes you feel so much better. And you think about these people, I don't equate them to animals, but like when I used to work at the RSPCA volunteering, it's like you see these animals in a cage. They're like giving up on life. They're like, ugh. But as soon as you come along, they get all excited. You take them out walking, you give them attention. You know, people like that. Like I said, when I go into that old people's home, they'll be laying in bed like this, looking like they're zombies. You walk in, and like I said, she thought I was her son. She'd be like, she'd light up and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you've come to see me." And she was so happy. And they'd be like, "Oh, Lee, you can't believe how happy she is when you leave. She's thinking her son come to see her." So yeah, people, you gotta take care of your parents or friends. And like I said before, how many times do we argue with people online? We text and fucking write shit to people online, but you never send a message to your mum and dad who are still with you if you got them. You never send a quick message, "Hi, thinking of you, love you." But yet you write a big paragraph online abusing some person you don't even know, who means nothing to you.
Exactly. So I mean, that's, you know, of course, naturally, I had all that guilt too when my mother passed away. I was like, wow, I should have spent more time with her. I should have went to the house. I should have, and I always did. I called her every day. I used to pass by. I did all of that, but I felt like I could have did more. And when she passed away, I had that was eating me alive. That whole thing, you know what I mean?
I was the same way with my grandparents. So many times when they'd call me up in America, I sometimes see it's them and I wouldn't answer the phone. I'm like, "Oh, my grandmother loves bodybuilding so much." And she was my biggest fan. That's all she wanted to talk about. And some days I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I don't want to talk about bodybuilding. I'm not picking up the phone." Or then if I did pick it up, I'd be like, "Here, talk to Tracy or Rate, whoever." And then I think to myself, fuck, now if I could take that back and answer that phone and talk to them now, you would. But back then, you're not thinking about it because, again, you think they're going to be there forever. I'll talk to them next time. But, sometimes that next time doesn't come, people. So
it doesn't. And I tell you, a lot of things transpired with that whole thing with me and my mom. A lot of things, man, that went through my mind and then you asked me like when I kind of, I wouldn't say converted, but I changed my thought pattern, when I started researching life, because when my mother died, I went into it. I went deep, man. I went deep, and I said, "There's got to be something more to life." I said, I don't understand this. Like, my mother was a beautiful woman. Now she's gone, and and I lost my father, my grand. I mean, I lost a lot of people, but I was trying to understand life, and I know that we have scriptures and we have God and all that. But I have to tell you, when my mother got buried, I went down to the cemetery just days after she was buried. I used to go in the middle of the night, and I used to argue with God. I used to stand on my mother's grave.
were you angry
I
with
was
God?
very angry. I actually was yelling at God. I was standing on my mother's grave, and it was still dirt because it was only a few days ago. And it was just like 12, 1, 2 in the morning, because I'm crazy like that. And I'm yelling at God, and I'm yelling from the grave, my mother's grave. I'm like, why? She loved you. All my mother was talking about Jesus and the Bible. And I said, how could you do this? How could you take her from me? My mother loved you, and now you took her. How could you do that to me? And I was yelling at him in the cemetery. Thank God nobody was around. It was because it was 2 in the morning. But
well, it's true though, because you see, like you said, you see good, but you see it all the time. How many times do we see people that help people or people around the world who do so much good get taken early, and then, like I said, we all know fucking assholes who live on and on. I'm thinking, why couldn't you take this prick? It's like this person does nothing but fucking shit on people, hurts people. The ones that fucking swindle people out of money and ruin lives, they go on living, but yet you take the good people.
I have to confess, Lee. I'm going to confess. I mean, I thought about that with my mother-in-law. I was like, how could my mother pass away? A beautiful woman. and this person, who's
Mm-hmm.
just miserable and hates everybody, and
Mm-hmm.
is still living on. Like I did that too. I did, it's death when you lose someone that close to you, and death does like weird.
Mm.
Your mind just
Like
goes,
you
oh,
question everything. It's like,
everything. I mean, everything. That's what got me. So, and I've said this before on Dave's show and After Hours. When my mother died, I
mm.
started searching,
Well, you do because
for
you figure you've been good. You've been good with your mother. You've done everything right. He takes her, then you start thinking to yourself, what's the point of being good? What's the point of fucking doing all this shit? If this
what's the
is what
point of
happens,
living? What's the
yeah,
point of
why the
living?
fuck? Why the
Yeah,
fuck should I be nice to everyone and help people if this is what fucking happens? So it's like almost like you fuck everyone. I'm going to be an asshole and just fucking hate everything.
yeah. I mean, I was very bad. So there's a couple of different stories, but the one story that I want to touch on was I started. So when I was laying on the couch, so I went to a grievance counselor at the VA because I couldn't snap out of it, Lee. I couldn't snap out. It was bad. I lost a lot of weight, and my friends all were worried about me. They thought I was gonna pretty much off myself, and so one night I was laying on the couch and I had my iPad, and I started looking up subatomic particles. I wanted to research, the depth of life, of
Mm-hmm.
matter, I was like so determined, and I started researching all of this about, the human body and atoms and particles and mass, and just I went into everything, and what happened was I ran into back then. You can't even do it now. I ran into this one video as I was watching all these other videos about how atoms work, and how mass, and just everything. And this video, World's Last Chance, was very interesting. I watched a few of those also too. That was about scripture. I went into that too. All of a sudden, this video pops up, flat Earth, right? So this was in my quest of life and death and existence, and you can't believe all the stories that you read, and how we grew up, being taught a certain way about life, and evolution and dinosaurs. You got to listen. You got to be your own pilot. You can't just somebody
Mm.
just hand you something,
Yeah.
a
You use
text,
it. You use
and
that.
this
You
is.
use that. You use that as a guide, but you gotta, make your own way.
Yeah, like you said, you can have the blinders on. You got to
Mm-hmm.
take those blinders off, and you got to look abroad, and the same thing with research. You just can't
He's
take.
probably like me though. My mum used to always say, she'd be like, Lee, you'd never be quiet. You had to question everything. It's like if someone told me something, I'd want to know why rather than just accept it. My mum's like, you always had to question everything. Even at school, if a teacher said this, I'd be like, yeah, but why? Why does that happen? Or why does it have to be that way? Rather than just, people go, okay, I understand. I want to, I'm not, I'd never rude, but like if someone, I had an inquiring mind. So if someone told me something, I'd be like, okay, but why does that happen, or how does it happen? Why does it have to be that way? Why can't it be this way? And a lot of times you'll get, don't question it, just accept it. I'm like, well, why can't I question it?
You know why, Lee? Because it's called a critical thinker. That's what you are. That's what I am. And there's a lot of people out there like that. They don't just accept, what's told to them
Mhm.
or shown to them,
My,
or
my mum would
literature.
always
Yeah.
say, nothing's black and white with you, is it? There's got to be
Yeah.
the gray area. I'm like, yeah, well, it's like,
Well, I think that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Even in the scriptures, God says He wants you to search for Him. That's what He wants.
Mhm.
He wants you to search for Him, not just read scripture. He wants you to search for Him in creation.
Well, give
And He
up, people.
actually,
I know where he is. He's in jail. Everyone finds him in jail. Everyone that's been to jail says, I found God. So if you're searching for him, go to jail.
I think there's a little something to that too. I see. So once you're incarcerated like that, which
Mhm.
God forbid, I hope I hope I never end up
You
there.
got you got lots
I
of
guess.
time with your thoughts and
Yeah. So
thinking.
what happens is, your life,
Hmm.
your surroundings are stripped from you,
Hmm.
and then you're just faced with yourself, and whoever
Yeah.
else is locked up with you. But
You start
and
questioning stuff a lot more.
I think you do, because all that distraction is taken from you.
Hmm.
The car, the women, the liquor, the party, and whatever, the
Hmm.
nightclubs, whatever the hell you do is taken from you now. The money, And now you're just, in these pajamas with sneakers, and that's all you got is time. And I think people sort stuff out. Kind of like when my mother died, same thing. But I wasn't incarcerated, but the death did that to me. And I guess being locked up is kind of sort of like a death too. And what happens is your mind starts to leak out in thought. You know what I mean? And it goes beyond your skull. And
Well,
starts
look
to.
how look how not deaf, but look how many people have been incarcerated. Just not for murder or big things, but even
Anything, right?
Smaller things where they've been put in there. Maybe it's a felony, so they're in there for 10 years or more. And because, like you said, all that shit's taken away from them.
Right.
Some of them, right, are in jail, will go get a law degree and shit like that. They'll get out of jail and actually have a career. Whereas if they never went to jail, they probably would never have thought of being a lawyer or getting into this type of thing or doing whatever. Like I said, when everything's stripped away and it's just you figure, hey, I've actually got to do something or learn something or go down a different path now. Whereas, like I said, on the outside, they probably would never thought law. Oh, why would I study law? But, when you're alone by yourself, you sort of go down these different roads, which I think are more your roads or your path, because when you're out here with all this shit around you, it's easy to be with the wrong crowd and follow a different path that they're leading. It's not you. You're just going along for the ride because, oh, this seems fun. I'll do this. I'll do that. You're not being true to yourself. It's only when you're alone with yourself that you finally do find out who you really are.
I think what you're saying, Lee, is like like the men of the past, like Galileo, Pythagoras, all these great thinkers, because they had time. They sat on a table with a candle, and they draw and they think.
And a lot of them too. When you look at them, a lot of them people, even up to Tesla's era, a lot of them, said they were crazy. They were this Howard Hughes. They're strange. They're this. They're like they're different type of people. So sometimes people think they're crazy, and they spend a lot of time to themselves. It's just like
they're not crazy. They're just critical thinkers. That's what that is. So like today's world, there's a lot of distractions. It ain't like when Pythagoras.
So many influences like to push you in different directions. Where, like I said, it might be something you're interested in, but is it your true self? Is that what you truly would have done if these outside or even your parents or whoever, someone you hang around, can influence you into a different direction that you would never have gone if it was just you and you doing what you wanted to do?
Exactly. I'm not saying in today's world, with all the knowledge and everything going on, is a bad thing, but it does distract many people that I think that they would be pursuing something different if it wasn't so many. And I'm guilty of that myself. Even growing up, all I wanted to do was, party, chase women, and go out. I mean, I look forward. I was clubbing it everywhere, And
but I also wonder, though, the people that do that, was that really you, or was it because the people you hung around did that, and you go, well, that looks fun, this seems fun, so they do it, and you follow suit. So it's really not you being true to yourself. You're just, maybe it's you're finding your way. Maybe you do this to find out if it's the path I want to take. But so many people, like I said, I was never a follower. I just did my own thing. A lot of times I was by myself because I didn't want to do what they were doing. I didn't go with this and that. I just did my own thing. And people were like, oh, that Lee's weird, isn't he? He just does this and that. But I was never into doing what everyone else did. Pretty much, if people did this, I'll do the opposite. So,
well, you were comfortable with yourself. Listen, like even today, like in these days, I'm good alone, man. I'm comfortable with myself. I entertain myself. I research stuff. I mean, I'm good by myself. But when I was younger, I was a little different when I was younger. I mean, I wanted to. I was I don't know why, but I was like you said, I could have been following my friends and my cousins, and everything was a party, run, party. And also it was the era that I grew up in. I grew up in the, I was born in '59, so in the late '60s and the '70s. After my father passed in '75, I joined the Marine Corps. It was different eras. There was a big party area, and everybody was.
And you got the peer pressure. You might be like, I'm going to stay home. Come on, Jimmy, come out. No, I'm going to stay home. Come on, Jimmy, don't let us down. Come on. Okay, I'll come out.
That happened many a times, where I just
come
wanted
on,
to
let's
chill
break
home.
into this place. I don't think we should. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
I'm not going to get into that, but anyway, yes, that peer pressure. Yes, that was a part of it, you know. So anyway, let's go back to the couch. So I just want to finish that. So I was on a couch for 4 years. I didn't even realize I was on a couch for 4 years because I was researching, life, and I came across what I was saying was this one flat Earth video popped up at that time because that's where I left off, and I was like, what the hell is this flat Earth, So I clicked on it just for laughs, and I watched it, and I was like, that was interesting, So then I saw another one and I clicked on, and at that time there was hundreds of flat Earth videos, people out there doing experiments and researching and talking about curvature and sunlight. I mean, like, it just goes on and on and on. And a lot of it made sense to me, and I started to think about
like
it.
When you first told me, and I heard you a lot about it, I was like, "Come on, flat Earth!" But then, you'd send me stuff, and I'd start looking at it. And like I said, is the world flat or round? I still don't know, but I'd like to keep an open mind and question rather than just go, "Oh, you're a dickhead. Come on, it's round." It's like there's a lot of things in those videos, and when these people who are smart people, they're not dummies just saying
no, they're not.
These people are high educated, even military people or whoever. It's like when they start saying stuff, it's like, I'm very open-minded. It's like, well, you listen to some explanations, you're like, well, that actually does make sense. It's like,
absolutely.
It's like, and they've got different stuff there, and you're like, well, fuck, I can't really debunk that. It seems pretty legit.
Right, you can't dismiss it.
Yep. And that's why I don't get when people all the time, no matter what it is, they go, oh, rubbish. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on. It's even like if you want to get back to Trump and Biden, when the people have this Trump derangement syndrome, it's like, but he did some good. You can hate the guy who won for his hair, but you got to admit, it's almost been 4 years Biden's been in now. So really now you can do a comparison, get Trump's 4 years, Biden's 4 years, and go through everything, immigration, jobs, inflation, do whatever. Then you can have a good comparison and see who was the worst fucking president.
Absolutely.
And who you like, Tyler, so don't answer.
It's not, listen, and listen, we're not being like, like politics and religion are two touchy subjects because there's so many people that have, different opinions. But, really, like you just said, Biden and Trump, right? Let's just, forget about Democrat, Republican. Let's just put all that aside. Let's just put, good common sense in order, right? And like, and the right thing and the wrong thing and things that don't make sense and things that do make sense. That's really what it boils down to.
Exactly.
So it's not really about Democrat, Republican, Donald Trump, or, Biden. No, it's about, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense.
What's going to be the best for you, your family, the country, or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. Common sense.
And the thing is, though, you find that you get these. We have it here with Labor and Liberal. We have people that are devout Liberal or Labor, and it doesn't matter. Liberal could say, "I'm going to take all your money in taxes," and that. Okay, I'll still vote for you, rather than just go, you know what? If this person here comes out with the best policies that I think are going to help me in the country, I'll vote for them. In 4 years' time, if this person over here, they're actually going to do better, I'll switch my vote and go Republican. It's like, why people have to be so, this is it, and that's all, when they figure, wait a minute, I know this person's doing shit like Biden, but you know what? I'm not going to change and vote for Trump because I don't like him. It's like, come on. It's like, you got to be more.
Like you said, you got to take those blinders off, Lee. I mean, that's like you said, people are so dead set on their thought pattern that they don't want to go either way in their thoughts.
It's like Tyler here. Tyler's always going to vote for Biden, so we can't change his mind, Jimmy.
Right? Yeah, I fucking love Biden. I think he's a great president.
That's what happens. You get people like Tyler.
Well, Biden doesn't love you, Tyler, because he can't sniff your hair. He doesn't like you.
You get this tunnel.
I'm sorry. I thought we were fucking priests and this was a confessional show. Like 1 hour later. What are we doing?
I'm sorry, Tyler.
What are we doing?
I'm sorry, Tyler.
What are we doing?
Having a heart-to-heart with Jimmy. And lots of other people feel like Jimmy, man of the cloth, Tyler, that we're just helping people. Okay, then. Let's go back to the pits of hell and the black girl in the shower. Sorry, we're being so caring for a minute, Tyler. Let's go back to the bowels of hell. Fuck everyone. Hope you all die. Rah.
Well,
there we go. Thank you. Thank you.
So to get back to this guy's confession,
that feels good.
Videos,
that feels good.
It does.
Fucked up to film a woman without her knowing. Hey, look, I can feel it. You can really feel the fire when you do that.
It looks like it. Doesn't it look like that when I put my hands
really, I'm kind of like, I'm feeling the heat just watching that.
All right, so Tyler, you were asking me how I felt about that. I think that was listen, I enjoyed the story and everything, but I think that was really totally wrong. You know, I think it was wrong. Totally
You took it too
wrong.
far.
Huh?
You took it too far the wrong way. You should.
Yeah, totally wrong. It's
We're
totally
all
wrong.
we're all in support of you trying to be a man and get a threesome going instead of
Right.
like, I'm gonna jerk off behind the window with my phone. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's a little bit sick. You know, listen,
It is.
I have to tell the guy, you know, if he should grow some, he should grow some balls.
Jimmy now, come on. We've told a few stories. We can't accuse anyone of being come on.
I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying that maybe he should have, like, you know,
Delete the videos.
you know, maybe he should have approached her and said, listen, you know,
Actually, send them to us first before we delete
And
them.
then delete them. And then delete them for
you know, approach the person and say, listen, I'd like to film you while you're in the shower. Would you
You
mind?
gotta get the consent. You really
Does
do.
that-
Right, yeah. And then if she said no problem, then maybe she would have, like, you know.
Look how the
really
flame coming up there. The flame's coming up beside there. Look, it looks like I'm actually
I
putting
see
my-
that. Yeah, it looks like your room's starting to catch on fire.
Over there. Look in the corner. Ooh.
Ooh, careful.
Your
you hurt
hands
yourself.
even look red, like the flames under your hands.
Yeah, because the candles are lighting them up. Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, it actually looks like the flames of hell
Yeah.
are under your
Just
palms.
that one, that flame there. It's very.
See how it's a little bit lighter up here? See how it's a little bit, you got the
Oh,
amber down
yeah.
there.
Those
Here's
flames,
Yeah.
those flames in the corner there. Look. Oh, that's on my
Yeah.
fingers. Oh.
Oh, look at that. Look.
Oh,
I even
ow.
got a little.
Okay, next one. Speaking of hell, the next one is
Well,
the-
we hope Jimmy's story helped people out there anyway. Even
Yeah.
though
Well,
Kyle is
let me just touch
Kyle is
before
very
we go.
anti everything.
Lee, before we go on the next confession, I just want to end that whole story. Okay, I mean, there's a lot more to it, but let me just put a cap on it for now. So what happened was when I went to the VA and I had to go see a grievance counselor because I was on the couch for 4 years. All right, didn't even realize I was on the couch for 4 years, and I went to this brief. She was a very nice lady. Never forget her. She was very helpful. She lost
She's
her
in
dad.
counselling now, by the way.
What was that?
She's in counselling now, by the way.
Yeah, she probably is.
After 4 years of Jimmy on
counselors
the
need
couch.
counselors.
Yeah,
If,
no,
if
I only
Jimmy's
went
on
to
your
her.
couch for 4 years. Trust me, you're in counselling.
No. So I only went to her for 1 year
Oh.
because I was on my couch in my house for 4.
Oh,
You know, so what happened was, you know, I never reunited with my girlfriend at the time. I went on the couch. I became totally distant. Didn't mean that, but that's what happened. So when I went to the counselor, you know, the grievance counselor, the VA, and I was talking to her, and, you know, I was crying and all kinds of stuff. You know, she was elaborating her story with how she lost her father, and, you know, anyway, I said, why am I still on? I couldn't even. I asked her, why am I still on the couch? Why? 4 years, you know? And she said, well, when your mom was in the hospital, she says, where were you, you know, at the time? You know, when you came home from the hospital? I said, well, when I came home from the hospital, I used to go on the couch because I didn't want to, you know, my daughter was living with me at the time too, and I didn't want to disturb anybody. And I went on the couch, you know, and I went to sleep. And she says, and that's what you did? I said, yeah, I used to go to the hospital, back to the couch, but the hospital. She says, well, that's what it is, she said.
You're stuck in that mode.
Right. You you feel if you get off that couch, you're letting your mother go. She said, she said, that's exactly what's going on with you. And it rang a bell, man. You know, too late though for the relationship, but it did ring a bell. And I was like, wow, this woman is right, man. It's like, I didn't even realize it myself, you know, because the way the mind works, you know, that I didn't want to let my mom go. And that couch kind of kept me close to my mother. Like it was weird. It's very weird how the mind works.
Subconsciously, yeah.
Yeah, subconsciously.
Before
Absolutely.
we carry on, I want to back up a bit here with the psychologist lady you're talking to, and how we saw you crying, and she'll talk about her father and cry. You'd hold each other. I feel a confession coming on here. What happened between you,
Did it get sexy,
Jimmy?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. As a
No
man,
way.
you know, as a man, it did cross the mind. It did.
Oh,
It did
of course,
cross the
it
mind.
has
But
to.
you know, yeah, because you know,
It even crosses our mind.
No
can't-
drinks. Didn't go for drinks or anything. Or?
No, it didn't. It didn't. I mean, thank God it didn't, because I tell you, it would. You know, I was going there for help, and she helped me, and that did cross the mind.
Yeah, but you know, two upset people grieving, holding each other.
Exactly.
I've seen
But
I
It hasn't crossed the mind.
I wanted to keep it professional, and she did
Smart.
help me, and I didn't
Oh
want
well,
to.
you
I
could have
really
paid
didn't
her
want
then. You could have paid her at the end.
Yeah, I
Probably a
didn't
good
want to do
call.
that. That would have
Probably
listen.
best
If I
call.
would have did all that, Lee, I probably would have went somewhere and off myself.
Well, it
for
would
the
have
woods at
would
that
have
point,
kept it professional if you paid her for the sex.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you could look at it that way, yeah. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to go there. I really didn't want to go there because it was all professional. She was helping me, and she did really help me. And I saw her. I saw her for a year, and then less and less as the year went on, and then I didn't go anymore. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of that story. I don't want to be.
Okay.
Let's talk
All right,
about.
well,
let's move on.
thank you for sharing, people, Jimmy, and I'm sure other people thank you for sharing because I'm sure a lot of people have been through the same thing. Now back to the confessional box where we can rip someone a new asshole.
So speaking of Lee, once again tempting Jimmy with the demon-like devilish desires. This person has concerns. Hi to Father Jimmy and turned evil Lee and Tyler.
What?
Yeah.
What?
This is not necessarily a confession, but I see the show and I think of Jimmy and I am positive the show has not quite gone the way he thought it would go.
Oh.
I remember Jimmy talking about confessions, helping people, giving them good advice, a little bit of fun. It started off this way, but then Father Priest became deranged. He became possessed by demons. And to my surprise,
What channel is this person watching?
And to my surprise, so did Tyler. Evil has taken over, and only Father Jimmy has not slipped into Satan's spell. Yeah, that's time for the church bell.
Well,
no, we're not done. We're not done.
We're not done yet. Hold on.
Jimmy has done well to stay calm under several attacks from Satan through Father Priest and Tyler the Terror. There is still hope. I hope Jimmy's prayers have worked and Father Priest will be reconnected with the Lord and will not ask Jimmy silly questions. I think we are having follow-ups because many have taken their own lives because of Father Priest's bad advice.
Oh my God.
As Arnold said, now many fear to confess because they're scared of Father Priest.
Wow.
Anyway, my confession
If you're scared of Father Priest, that means you're scared of your true sins. Don't blame me.
Wow.
My confession is I really like Jimmy and understand him. That's not like in a gay way. I like him as a decent.
What's this person's name? What's their name?
I can't tell you that. I can't confess such things.
Okay, well, I just want to say not in a gay way, you're gay. Come out.
Yeah, it is like the cliche like coverage for a homophobe, isn't it?
So finish, Tyler. Finish.
Actually, I do like Lee too. He's a bloody laugh. Oh, Tyler, you're a pretty good fellow too. Cheers, mates.
Nice.
There's my hand. There's my hand coming up from the fire.
And there it is. We're gonna glow.
I have to say that was a very intense confession. Very intense. Very, very real.
Fancy. I'm here doing the Lord's work, and He's calling me evil.
Very.
With the flames all around.
Who are you to judge me?
I have to say that the mate, because he said cheers, so he must be from England or Australia. I'm figuring that, yeah, definitely, yeah, because that's.
See, these flames are looking good. It's actually looking like it's on me.
They really do. I got to be honest with you. Yeah. So I have to say that was really like a right-on confession there. That was. That was probably Jimmy's friend Tasso because he said not in a gay way. No, I don't think so because he told me he was done.
Honey, I'm going to tell Rachel this, honey. These people said that I'm evil, and that I probably help people kill themselves with my advice. Am I evil? Am I evil?
No answer.
She just walked away.
There you go.
I have to confess, Lee. Some of the
silence
stuff
speaks volumes.
Some of the stuff that you come out with is very harsh. I mean, some people, some people might be in dire straits, and they're
Jimmy, this is your friend. This is your friend you're talking to. Come on, be easy.
I know, I am. I love you to death. I'm just that's why I'm telling you the truth. I mean, listen.
I sat through you listening to you pour your heart out about your mother, and you call me evil.
No, I didn't call you evil.
It's true. That was quite a radical departure for Demon Lee.
I said harsh.
I know.
Listen,
Can you believe it? That's like a dagger through my heart there, Tyler. I've just sat here
listen,
as
Angels
the son
and
of
demons.
Satan. As the son of Satan, I was moved by his story, thinking, maybe even Jimmy could change the son of Satan to see a light. And then he just turns around and calls me evil. Well, guess what? My father's just pulled me back down into the pits of hell. When Jimmy was almost lifting me up to the clouds, to the pearly gates, he's just made me realize what a wolf in sheep's clothing he is. And he's put the knife in me.
Listen, Lee, I love you to death. I know you very well.
Dare to be a Daniel. Dare to be a Daniel. Dare to walk alone. However the song goes. Yeah.
I have to say that I know you very well. And I know, I tell the fans right now, whoever's watching the show, that you're not really like that. You're very sentimental. You're very emotional. You're very deep. And I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. Me and Lee, we've done a lot of.
Far. Don't go too
I'm not
far.
going to go too far, but we've had a
Don't
lot of
ruin my street
Sometimes
cred,
he
Jimmy.
says things just for a rise out of people.
Don't go ruin
Lee
my
likes
street
that.
cred.
Lee likes to get a rise out of
He
people.
likes to get a rise out of
Absolutely,
like a
really
majority
reality.
or like a specific
I'm going to
person.
be honest with
Look
everybody
at
on the
that.
show.
Look at the flame.
Whoever's watching this show, I'm going to tell you right now, I've had many talks with Lee. We've done a lot of talking over the last couple of years, and he's not like that. But he does like to push the envelope and get rise out of people.
He does push the envelope a tid.
He likes to do that.
I tear that envelope up. When people say to me, Lee,
but I tell you right now, Lee would be the first person to get in his car and drive across Australia to help somebody out, because that's the kind of guy he really
He drive deep into the.
He would get on a plane.
into the outback.
Deep
into the outback, mate.
He would get on a plane and fly to America to help somebody, because that's the way he is. So so
the outback.
I'll just say I did get on America on a plane twice to go and see my brother Jimmy, but Jimmy never got on a plane to come see me. If I can bring that up.
Jimmy should get on a plane to go see you in Australia.
No, I've been on the plane twice.
That only happened once, Lee. Once.
There's the Olympia.
Yeah.
And the Arnold twice.
Yeah. No, I went to.
The
where did I
Olympia.
go?
The Olympia in Vegas, you didn't come.
Yeah.
And the Arnold Classic, you didn't come. That's twice. Are you trying to block one out to make yourself feel better, Jimmy?
Where was the Arnold Classic? That was in the Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio, last month, Jimmy, when I had the nice room and Dave was going to get your ticket, and Is it coming back now, Jimmy?
Yeah, it is. It's coming back.
Yeah. That's okay.
I must have blocked it out, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy to do.
So next week, when we're on the confessions, when I have an hour talk about my life, I'll bring that up and how the pain has hurt me.
I apologize.
Flying halfway around the world, hoping to see my good friend Jimmy, who only had to fly 2 hours to see me, and he didn't show up. That's okay. I won't bring it up again.
It does sound pretty shitty. It does.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
But I'm sure I had cause.
I'm glad you went out and had a nice night. When I'm in Columbus, thinking, oh, my mate Jimmy should be here. And where were you? Out having sushi with your mate. You went to see your mate. You went to see your mate that you always see and always have sushi with, Lee, who comes over once or twice a year. Yeah. You know what, Jimmy? When I'm gone and I'm passed on, I hope you go back to that. I hope you go back to that
grandma guilt trip
and talk to that psychiatrist again about how you feel like you let your good mate Lee down by not showing up. I should have showed up to see him, because now he's gone. I'll never be able to see him. I'll never be able to see him, even if I wanted to now. I can't go see him because he's dead. Oh, those times and memories we could have had. It's all right. It's all right.
And that is possible, because we're always in the hospital, me and you together.
Exactly. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty.
Oh, kitties.
I'll have to make it up to you, Lee.
That's okay. Nashville, Tennessee's coming up. He still hasn't given me an answer to that one, Tyler. He's umming and ahhing about that, Tyler.
I'll have to make that up to you.
What do we got there?
She put a sign on me.
Oh! Oh my God!
Oh wow! Who did that?
Super evil.
Who did that?
Evil.
Rachel, it's like a patch you sew under your clothes. Super evil. Hey.
Super evil.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Look at that.
That's how Jimmy's made me. That's so the person that wrote that letter. I was fine and loving and caring, but every time Jimmy didn't show up, a piece of my soul and heart just got ripped out, and maybe this cold, angry, evil person.
Oh, God. I'll have to redeem myself with you.
What's your speaking of sinning confessions, and what's the most evil thing you've done in your life? You can't confess to murder. We're not going to read that on the show. That's
Wait a minute.
Make it funny. The most evil, funny thing you've done.
Is this somebody asking this question?
I'm thinking of my new thing is to encourage confessions. Let's think of like topics, like for example, what's the worst prank that you've done? What could you confess? What's the most evil thing you've done?
Hey, there's a prank out there. I'm not sure if you can still find it online. You probably can. Google Lee Priest plays trick on his mother or joke on his mother.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see if it's still what it is. I've set up for you. I came back to Australia. I hadn't seen my mum for like 7 years, but I didn't tell her I was coming home. So I said, Mum, they got these new satellites now, like Google Earth, where you can, put in an address and you can see the house. I said, no, what they got now is there's a new satellite that's live. Normally the ones you do Google Earth, it's just a photo of the house and you can zoom in on it. I said, this one's live and the satellite's going to be flying over it this time. I want you to go out the front and wave to the satellite and I'll be able to see you. So I'm in the limousine, right? I had a limousine pick me up. I parks down the end of my mum's street so I can see a house just up there. I said, Mum, the satellite's overhead now. Get down. Go out the front and wave to me. She's like, really? Yes. I said, yeah, go out the front. So she goes out the front. I'm filming from the fucking limousine on a video. And she's got a tea towel in her hand. And she's doing this. And she's waving up in the air, jumping up and down. I said, guess what? I can see you. You got these fucking yellow shorts on. She's on the phone going, yeah, I got those color shorts on. Can you see me? Can you see me?
No way.
Yes, I can see you. She goes to get my stepfather. Ray, come out here. He can see us. So Ray comes out. The dog comes out. Ray's standing there with a can of Coke. He's like cheersing me up. I said, I can see Ray's got a can of Coke. He can see you, Ray. He can see you. This is great. And she's doing like snow angels and jumping up and down. And then all of a sudden I said to the guy, okay, drive up. This is going on long enough. The limousine pulls in the driveway. And my mum's like, ooh. I said, what's wrong? She goes,
that's a good one.
She goes, oh, the guy in the limousine thinks I was waving to him. Now he's pulled up in the driveway. Now my stepfather's going mad at my mother. Now look what you've done. You had the car pull up. And the driver in the limousine puts the window down. And he's like, can I help you? Were you waving to me? She's like, she's still waving her tea towel while she's talking, got her head in the car window now. No, I'm waving to my son. My son in America is on the satellite. And the guy's like,
jeez,
your son in America's on the satellite. She's like, yeah, he can see me. I said, Mum, then I'm talking to her now through the car. I'm not on the phone. I said, Mum, you're being silly. No, I'm not. I said, Mum, you're being silly. And she goes like this. She looks in the car. She goes, Lee,
man,
it's got to be on YouTube. It's got to be on YouTube still. Like Lee Priest.
I tried to find it. I couldn't find it.
Is it like prank on his mum? Lee Priest plays prank on his mum, or
I couldn't find that, but
I tell you, that was a good one.
There's like
if I find it, I'll send it to you both. It's funny when you realize
that was a really good one. I wouldn't even think of something like that.
And I get out the car as I'm filming. I say, and you people wonder where I get my fucking stupidity from. This is it.
That was great.
Look at this shit. This is crazy. Like looking at AI going amok. This is Bing results. It just came up. Lee Priest, the renowned bodybuilder, has had quite an interesting relationship with his mother, Lynn Priest. It's just spewing this shit. Lynn played a significant role in Lee's early bodybuilding journal. Let's delve into some intriguing aspects.
Oh.
Let's see, to correct it when it's wrong. Lee Priest's mother, Lynn, was instrumental in his initiation into bodybuilding at a young age.
Wrong.
It's wrong.
Our He-Man got me into bodybuilding and my grandfather.
So it's 13. Totally wrong.
I was 13. My mother didn't start when I was 17.
So totally wrong.
Yeah,
her influence and support helped shape Lee's path in a world of muscle and iron.
Where'd you get that, Tyler?
This is AI like just doing its thing when it's usually fucking wrong. Pranks and shenanigans. While there isn't a specific prank involving Lee and his mother mentioned in the search, the Lee family has engaged in various entertaining antics. For instance, they pulled off pranks like I lost my memory on mom and dad.
What? Really?
Yeah, dude. It's just like garbage.
What's that? I lost my memory.
Tyler.
Lee's candid insights. He has shared candid thoughts about modern lifters. Well, that's for sure. He's been vocal about certain behaviors that irk him, reflecting his no-nonsense approach to bodybuilding. Wow.
Tyler, you gotta do me, man.
do Jimmy.
Oh
Jimmy,
shit! Yeah. Okay. I'll Bing Jimmy the Bull.
I'm actually scared.
What did he say? Bing.
It's Bing. It's like Microsoft's attempt. They call it Copilot. I'm sorry.
Really?
So is that like Safari and Google? Is it or?
You're a talented. Jimmy Butler. It just took Jimmy the Bull and it ran with Jimmy Butler. So I'll say no, Jimmy the Bull. Body.
Jimmy Bull
Collection. Jimmy the Iron Bull. Jimmy the Iron Bull. That's the full
okay.
name.
Jimmy the Iron Bull.
Iron Bull Collection.
Right.
I apologize if that wasn't correct. It seems I misunderstood. Could you please provide more context for Jimmy the Iron Bull? All right.
Put in
sorry.
his
How
last
do you
name.
spell Pelleccia again?
Yeah. Pellecia.
Oh, it came up. Okay. As soon as I typed in PEL, it's like, all right, now I know.
Here we go.
Okay. Hang on. Let me share this. I should have been doing that in real time.
AI is going to give us all the info on Jimmy.
Oh boy. That don't have anything on me.
Jimmy is a nice guy, but it's rather known as a psychopath.
He's a remarkable figure in the road of strength and power. Hey, how you like that?
Oh.
As a professional strongman, he's achieved feats that defy imagination. Let's delve in. Constant change. He emphasizes the importance of continuously challenging your body to improve consistently. Shock your muscles by varying your training routines. Don't let your muscles adapt to a specific schedule. Did you ever say that, Jimmy?
This sounds too intelligent to be Jimmy. Come on, there must be another Jimmy Pelleccia out there. Come on. What is
number
like
two? Listening to
it.
your body. Pay attention to your body's signals. If you're prone to injury or aiming your general fitness, there are less stressful ways to achieve those goals. However, if your goal is solid muscular development along with superhuman strength, Jimmy's methods might be the way to go.
Wow.
Jesus.
It's not just about lifting weights. He embodies a unique blend of strength, determination, and passion. His feats are all inspiring, and his unconventional approach sets him apart.
This AI is blowing Jimmy.
It's sucking it's S-ing his D hard. Remember, when someone asks, how much can you lift? His answer would likely leave them speechless.
What did you do, Jimmy? Give a hand job to Elon Musk?
I
can't believe that was written like that.
Yeah, man. Dude, it loved you.
Jimmy's report sounded better than mine.
It did. It was glowing.
Say if you just put in who is Lee Priest on that.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
What is Lee Priest known for?
Oh my God.
Who is Lee Priest?
Who is Lee Priest?
Man. That is too funny. Lee wants to keep going.
I'm not satisfied with that first report.
He's not satisfied.
I'm going to sit by the fire.
Lee Priest from Australia, former IPB. He is a current NABBA professional.
Look at it. Look at it writing. Look at it.
Yeah.
Began early childhood. It's still going with your mother saying that she started everything with you.
Oh my God.
Well, it's true.
Shared the stage, tender age of 13. You won your first competition.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see. You got titles at 16, 17, 18, and 19. You moved to Cali at 20.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. All accurate. You gained over 70 pounds of muscle during your teen years. Jeez, I wonder how. It was
I answered that insinuation there. Thank you.
I had to with the whole bodybuilding natty culture.
Wow.
It was then that he secured.
Me jealousy from Tyler.
Yeah, fuck. I wish I was fucking strong like you, man. Back when you were 17.
I love when Lisa look at it writing. It's writing away.
This is still pretty shit. I haven't got anything outstanding.
It just focused on your career hardcore.
It doesn't say Lee's an incredible guy, caring and all this shit. What the fuck? Come on.
I'll say, what do you think of Lee Priest?
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, put that in. What do you think of Lee Priest?
Yeah.
He's a fascinating figure. His journey from winning the first competition. As a language model, I don't have personal opinions, but I can share insights beyond. So it's playing, the smart card there.
Uh-huh.
It's a but it does think it's a remarkable achievement that you got your pro card at the young age of 20.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Doesn't say anything about helping animals or caring. Nothing.
It says you got a passion extending to race car driving, where you excelled in various racing disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
You returned to the stage after a hiatus, winning the NABA Mr. Universe was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you're an outspoken personality with a unique approach that has endeared you to fans worldwide. I'm actually pretty impressed.
How is Lee Priest sexually? What's that say?
Yeah, how is
Is Lee Priest gay?
Well, I don't think you made love to AI, Lee.
He can't that's it. Wow, quick response there. Can't really provide any info preferring that.
Wow.
Yeah, well, at least you guys can be.
Is Lee Priest non-binary?
That's funny, man. Talked very well about me, though, I have to say.
Not explicitly mentioned. They have no idea.
I told you.
AI doesn't know shit then, do they?
No. They don't know the truth. Well, that's fun. Okay.
Wait a minute, hold it, Tyler. So now
What?
do me now. What does the AI think of Jimmy the Iron Bull Fletcher then?
It's gonna be like I don't have any personal. Are you kidding? You're trying to get more compliments. It already like said.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to get better ones than me.
Make it say better, more good things about me.
Lee did it 3 times. He
Is
sexually.
Jimmy Pelletier put in? Is Jimmy Pelletier religious?
Oh my god.
Does Jimmy Pelletier believe in God? Put that in there.
Oh wow.
Or it's gonna be like I have no idea. Or we could do the final confession here.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's do
Look
that.
at that flame right near my hand. See how it's warm?
My final one, it's just titled Story Time.
Okay.
So I was over at my girlfriend's house. She has a basement apartment, but her mom lives upstairs. Okay. I don't like that arrangement already. We're in my girlfriend's room playing Hide the Shizoli. I like that. Playing Hide the Shizoli.
With the key to the floor.
we were doing it from the side. All of a sudden, we hear a knock at the bedroom door. It's her mom. It would have taken too much time to get dressed and find our clothes, so we just pretended that we were sleeping. But she knocks again, so my girlfriend says, "Come on in." The Shizoli is still being hidden, if you guys are wondering. Her bed is in the corner, and my back is against the wall, and I am still hiding Shizolis in a big way. My mom asked, this is like a Pornhub fucking skit, by the way.
Okay.
The mom asked if we were still coming out for dinner with their family, but then just proceeded to tell us about her day when no one asked and sits down on the bed. Oh my God, this is a Pornhub skit.
I've had that happen to me.
Are you serious? Okay, hold your confession. While she's talking, my girlfriend keeps backing her. Oh, of course, this is a Pornhub skit.
Pushing into him, pushing into him.
So my Shizoli is stuck like a Chinese finger trap. This goes on for about 10 minutes because apparently this is a 10-minute thing. And then just then, my girlfriend made this loud queef that sounded like a fart.
Well, it wasn't as tight as a Chinese finger trap then, was it?
My mom looks over and said, "Ew, which one of you was that?" And I said it was me. I think I had something bad for lunch. It didn't agree with my stomach. Holy shit. Now, months later, she has nicknamed me Pepto-Bismol. We got away with it. I find it more funny than a sin. What do you think?
Oh, I don't think it's a bad confession. I think it's,
it's just like you were
pretty innocent. I mean, I've had something like that similar happen to me, when I was younger.
Oh, man. Just lock the door if you're going to bang.
It's a little different, though, what happened to me. So I'm going to elaborate on his confession. I don't see anything wrong with what happened there. I think it was pretty innocent. And, I don't think anything really bad would come of what happened.
No.
Just a daughter getting tortured in front of her mom. What's wrong with that?
The mother should have hopped in and joined off. He should have finished. The mother should have licked the cannoli clean.
It's not like it was headed there, to be honest.
There's dinner. Thanks for coming.
I think it was just an uncomfortable, story.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Just like, so what happened to me was years ago when I was probably 22. I was.
Do I see a black priest turn?
Yeah, that's a black priest.
A black priest.
Yeah,
yes,
look behind the screen. There's somebody reading the Bible and turning the pages while you're talking.
Oh.
It's very nice.
So make a look. I had an embarrassing moment one time. So one time I was, this is going when I was very young, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and
Of course,
I was
of
with my.
course. Last week.
When I was younger, I used to like toys and stuff. So we didn't have anything at the time, and I was living down in Florida, and I ended up using a cucumber, from the refrigerator.
Oh, classic.
When you said toys, then I thought you might have been using the Tonka truck. Okay, cucumbers.
Wait, it's going up Jimmy's butt.
It was a cucumber. So anyway, so
was it the prickly cucumber though, with the prickles on the outside?
So anyway, I'm in the bedroom and I was in the morning now, we were drinking all fucking night, whatever. So anyway, the father comes in the room in the morning.
The father?
Bed. Yeah, our father. Yeah. And he walks in to tell us, I don't know, breakfast was...
Oh, you finished, Jimmy? It's my turn.
Jesus.
No, and what happened was, I don't know how it ended. The cucumber ended up right on the dresser. When you opened the door, the dresser was there, and the cucumber was right there. So he opened up the door, tell us that they're making breakfast, and he grabbed the cucumber and he goes, "Oh, good cucumber."
Need that for the salad.
And I just want to like melt into the match, I was like, oh my God, our father's holding the cucumber, man.
He made you lunch, but the good thing was he made him lunch, but the good thing was he made him tuna salad so they couldn't smell the cucumber.
That's like a father's nightmare that you made.
Oh, Tyler,
he'll never know though. Ignorance is bliss.
I was so embarrassed because I knew when he picked up that cucumber and he went, "Oh, cucumber," like making light of it. I knew it was on his mind. I was like,
"But did he eat it? Did he take it out of there?"
I thought you were going to say he ate it.
No, he just put it back on the dresser and he left. And
I
was mortified.
Now then, Jimmy, did you go out and make him a sandwich with the cucumber?
Have a nice cucumber salad.
Tell you the truth, I don't remember what I did with that
cucumber. And say to him, it's great that you and your daughter are very close.
We're vegetarian.
I'm disturbed by all this bedroom with parents interrupting and then things continue.
And cucumbers.
Yeah, cucumbers get involved. Cucumbers get touched.
Well, we had a lot of fun with the cucumber, but I had no idea that, the father was going to come.
How long does a cucumber technically last as a toy in the drawer before it starts wilting and getting all?
Ew.
No, I think it was a one night thing with the cucumber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a one. We didn't hold on to it,
That's good.
You moved on to the butter pumpkin or butter squash next week, did you? Or?
But I got to tell you though, every time we went to the supermarket, the vegetable aisle never looked.
You picked up. Oh, we lost him.
This phone call, no caller ID bullshit.
We could hear you, Jimmy. Jimmy must have thought we couldn't hear him, so he logged out. We could actually hear him.
Just a tinge of rage. Just as well, we're coming to an end of quite a.
Keeping me warm. Looks perfect, doesn't it? Thank you.
It's nice.
Look at the flames on my face. You didn't have to log out then, Jimmy. We could still hear you when you came.
No, I get these non-caller ID.
You got to do, Jimmy, you got to go to your settings and phone, and you can basically silence unknown calls so they don't bother you because they're most often bullshit.
How about all calls? How about that? I mean,
you can do that too.
Yeah. Do not disturb is a thing.
I think you can put it on do not disturb. Yeah, just put in. You can write in your own little thing that if someone calls or messages you, you can put like I'm doing a podcast, and that's the message they get.
But that's for our iPhone troubleshooting podcast that we're gonna do. That's for the other show.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Sort of tech guy show.
Yeah, me, Jimmy, and Lee are gonna do all your iPhone tech. That's the other show we're working on.
Nice.
It's gonna be great.
With a couple of confessions in between.
Yeah, we'll squeeze a few in.
That looks so good. Looks like I'm actually in front of the fire. The flames are flickering.
It looks fantastic. I gotta put my camera on here now. It's oh.
Wow. There you go.
Let me try that, Lee.
Yeah. No, Jimmy, you got to put the candles in front of you, so it's like this.
Let's see.
It's actually I kind of like this. This is very evil lighting.
No, come in front of the camera, Jimmy. You got to put it in front like this, so it looks like your hands are over the flames. Now bring your candle in front. Bring your candle around.
Mine? Oh, Jimmy's.
No, Jimmy's.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, now do it, Jimmy. Now put your hands up in front of it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it looks great. No, Jimmy, you haven't quite got it there. Almost. Yeah, Tyler's is flickering. Mine's
Yours
going
looks
good.
a lot better. I don't know why.
This candle is just, he's a little lower candle power.
Mate, I'm in hell. I got the
Hey, I'm in hell.
Yeah, yours has more of a red color to it. I don't know why.
I've even got that flame right there in the corner. See it? That one?
I see that little flame.
It looks like I got my hands on it. Look at that.
Yeah. I actually thought like your desk was on fire. That's how good that looks.
You're the furthest from hell, Jimmy. That's why you have the least amount of
you don't see. Look, James Cameron and that couldn't do this good effects like this.
This is some next level.
Tyler's outdone himself today. Look at that.
Look at it.
It actually looks like you're going to burn your hand any minute.
Can you just have me on the screen with the flames around me?
No. I don't think I can.
Well, fuck, you just lost your James Cameron certificate.
Well, what if you just had Lee in the frame by himself? Would you still see those flames in the corner?
No.
Oh.
See, I can't do nothing about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe you should look into that, fucking Spielberg. Yeah.
Here you go. I can do that for you.
My little friends over here.
That looks pretty good.
Look at that. There's the flames. Ooh, it's getting warm.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, if you want to be doomed to hell, please send in your confessions.
Yes.
Well, let's
get Tyler. Can you text me the email so I can put it in my notes? That way, I'm going to do a couple of posts on Instagram. I can just copy the link in the story so they can go to it.
Entertain us with your crazy shit or problems,
stories, anything. Or if you want to have a heart to heart like Jimmy had, we'll listen as well.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
But
Tyler will leave the room because he's not a real man of the cloth. He had better things to do. But Jimmy, I would listen to your whole story. Tyler went off to play with Baxter.
It could be an entertaining show for people, right? We're supposed to, at the end of the day, we're trying to get laughs. We're trying to have a good time.
Yeah, but we're also people. There could be so many people that experience what Jimmy experienced.
What is this, Delilah?
Why is this guy email in saying I'm evil when you're the evil one? You're the evil one. You're the evil one. You won't even listen to Jimmy pouring his heart out.
So it's a grieving show now. It's like, what do you want this to be?
His show is to help everyone grieving, happy, sad, whatever.
Wow.
Listen, when people come in the box, it's anything. It could be trouble. It could be guilt. It could be
nothing beddling coming in. Nothing beddling coming in the box. Let me tell you.
Got to come in the box. Got to come in the box. You know. That's
you
what
do.
it's about.
You do.
Once you come in our box,
or the back door, whatever floats your boat.
Come up in our box and have a word with us.
And give us your stories.
Won't you?
Yeah, please. Listen, everybody, before we get off.
You want to be my neighbor?
Like and subscribe to the show. You know, we like to elaborate on stories. And
there it is. There's the email down there.
There's the email down there. Right.
Tyler, you do it. Tyler, you're closer to it.
You got a girl that you got lust, whether it's lust or it's guilt or it's any of the other sins or it's
There's someone in your neighborhood. There's someone in your neighborhood at your school, anywhere at the gym that you're secretly videotaping. Let us know about it.
Oh yeah, all your illegal voyeur. That's what this is all about.
Or any upskirting at the mall. Let us know.
Yes, please.
Send us the videos. Send us the videos so we can judge how bad it is.
God. Totally confidential. No one's gonna know who you are. Don't worry. It's not gonna happen.
You won't get reported.
But we'd like to keep the show going, and
exactly. We're not going to turn into Goose that laid the golden egg. So you just keep sending those movies, and we'll keep our mum's the word. Mum's the word.
If you like the show and you enjoy it, the only thing that's going to keep us alive is your confession. So you have to write in your confession so we can have content. If we have no content, then we're just going to confess our own sins. And, you know, we're not here to do that, but we do. But, you know, we like
Lee
to,
would just have to get evil all the time, and you don't like that. Apparently.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And we don't like it.
You know, so we want to touch on everything. So, you know, we'd love for you to write your stories in, your confessions, whatever it is, an idea, anything you want to pass by us. We'd love to, you know, elaborate on it and share with everybody. So please, right?
And even if
Look
you
at the
don't
bottom of the screen.
elaborate, even if you don't elaborate, we will.
We'll fill in the
Absolutely.
blanks.
You can guarantee we'll fill in the blanks.
That's what this show could be called. Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. Yeah, I happen.
I'm shooting blanks.
It's called God.
That's a confession.
God, fill in the blanks. Mine just comes out like fucking talc powder.
Wow, you guys. With how much pot I smoke, I might be shooting stuff, but it's, you know what? It's not going to do anything.
They're just going around in circles.
Shooting blanks.
Yeah, they're just stoned as shit, little guys. Just, you know, kind of.
I don't know about smoking pot, but when I eat these brownies, I got to say that you ever had edibles, Tyler?
Oh, of course.
No, is it just me or is it you? But the edibles mess up your peeing habits. Like sometimes I go to pee and I can't pee, or then I feel like I got to pee. Is that normal for edibles? It's just if
you're not used to being super stoned, yeah, you might be like, am I about to pee right now? I can't.
or then I go to pee and it stops and I start thinking, oh no, I got to go to hospital. My prostate's messing up.
Yeah, you're not sure if you're done peeing. It's fine.
Yeah.
Little side effect, little fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. I thought it might have just been.
And then Lee will be sending me a video from the hospital.
We haven't done that yet. That's a good confession idea. Give us your crazy, like, I'm too high, like I'm too stoned, like problematic drug confessions. That could be fun.
Yeah, tell us your worst trip.
Yeah, tell us about your worst trip. That'll be a fun confession. All right, there's your assignment. We'll see you next week, everyone.
And and then I'll tell them about my trip on Peyote. I'll tell them all about that.
Peyote trip.
Fucking Jimmy the Bull dances with wolves. Fucking
That was quite a time when I ate some mushrooms. I'll tell you about that next week.
Heck yeah. All right. There you go. All right. Well, that's the assignment. Super Evil. That's Father Lee, Father Jimmy, Altar Boy Ty. Thank you for
everybody.
joining us.
Have a great Friday night. Well, it's Friday night for us, but
Saturday morning.
Monday.
And please write in to keep us going because we enjoy doing this. And believe me, we're doing it for pure entertainment. And we want to hear your confessions and your stories and your experiences, please.
Yeah, truthfully, we're doing it for us because we enjoy it and we love having a laugh.
We do enjoy it, I have to say.
It's a mutualistic enjoyment. It's all around.
Absolutely.
At the end of the week, it's like a fun. If you had a bad week, this just tops the week off. If you had a bad week, this makes your week.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like going to the psychiatrist. No different.
On the couch.
True.
Except we're not going to be so serious.
No,
or maybe sometimes. Sometimes we will be.
Speak for yourself. I don't joke around here, mate. This is all fucking,
Yeah, it's serious. Yeah, all this is extremely serious. All right. Thanks for joining. See you next time.